I believe Magnus has a story to tell us.
I don't have a story to tell.
You motherfucker! God damn it! All right, well, fucking, we're just kind of shooting from the hip tonight because I guess we had a show planned, but no one was confirming anything with me. I'm sitting here with my thumb up my ass watching fucking Fright Power Hour and fucking Revelations and other streams.
I didn't really need to know about the placement of your thumb, but my pussy is getting hard over that one.
I hate you so much. Oh, now you want to do the fucking motherfucker. Anyways,
you get no respect here, Brockus. Just no respect.
No, I don't. I streamed with Magog this afternoon, right? And at one point in the stream, Magog asked me, "How does it feel to be on a stream where no one's actually making fun of you?" I was like, "Oh shit, that is happening right now, isn't it?" I think I've just gotten so numb to it, I don't even fucking notice anymore.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty cool stream.
I'll throw you a bone. What I was talking about before the stream started and what Brockus wanted me to talk about was the fact that you guys might want to avoid my Twitter stream because apparently somebody posted this picture and I'm going to have to use it as often as I possibly can. It's a picture of Caitlyn Jenner's face and it says, "My pussy's getting hard."
Such a disturbing image and yet one that the world will apparently to know.
How stunning and brave.
How stunning and brave. She's stunning and brave.
Stunning and brave would be if she dropped her skirt in the middle of the fucking...
I don't know how that's stunning or brave, but sure. She-Man can definitely have that moniker.
She-Man? Is that what happens when Prince Adam accidentally grabbed She-Ra's sword?
You know what? I think, and this is just my thoughts on this, I think that's what happened to the new She-Ra series.
Yeah, probably. She grabbed He-Man's sword by accident.
Now, by sword, do you mean the actual weapon used to cut your enemies down, or is that a metaphor for dick?
That's a metaphor for penis, and we all know it.
Okay, so you basically just said that the sister grabbed the brother's dick, and you know what? You need to stop going to those hentai sites, dude, because they're giving you ideas.
I don't know what's wrong with this, Brockus. I've seen Game of Thrones. It's perfectly natural.
That's not real life. I don't know. What?
I don't know. Back in the olden days, people used to. Well, people still fuck their sisters these days. I believe they're called Muslims.
Oh.
You know, we usually make fun of them for having an ass backwards fucking society. We usually make fun of them for their very disgusting old ways, especially with the child brides and you know, the way they treat women and the way they treat men who don't treat women a certain way, shit like that, right? We have criticisms. That's one I have yet to hear.
Do I need to reiterate the headline that I saw the other day where a group of Muslims gang raped a pregnant goat to death?
Maybe? This is my first time hearing it.
I'm pretty sure.
You heard that one on Revelations earlier, Samaj. You were there. I think you just blocked it out.
Maybe. Or maybe it was one of those times I went to the bathroom.
Thank God I went to the bathroom as well. Because I was also watching Revelations earlier, and I am quite disturbed with you saying that a group of Muslims gang raped.
That was a headline. That wasn't a headline. That's not me accusing them of this. That was a headline.
Okay. I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, maybe I should be less concerned about our women and be more concerned about our cattle.
Yep. No, that's the direction we're going now. Also, not only should women not go out in the street, or anyone go out on the street in certain areas, you know, at night, but also keep an eye out on your livestock, especially the pregnant ones.
Yeah, and I remember when the only thing goats had to worry about was the chupacabra. Now it's not the goat sucker they have to worry about, it's the goat fucker.
Oh no. Oh no. No. I think we have our thumbnail, Samaj.
Oh, why are you always trying to make me do thumbnails of people doing it with animals? I'm not doing
I'm
it.
not. No, that's not exactly what I meant. I was actually going to suggest you have me, you, and Magnus basically looking onto a scene that is heavily censored, and we just have the most shocked look on our faces, like, why is this even a thing?
Actually, knowing the way I am, I wouldn't be shocked by that, but I would have that kind of look on my face.
Make a great big pixelated pile of like flesh tone pixels and
And well, you would have to have the goat head looking out like it's doing that. Ah! Look.
oh man, we're going to hell. No, wait. No. I guess the only one in trouble here is me. I'm going to jail. I live in Canada. I can't make those comments.
You're not the one making the comments. You're just laughing at them.
Oh, fair enough.
We got you covered, Samaj. We're not going to let our favorite art monkey go to jail.
I hope not.
Well, yeah, I don't want you to go to jail, Samaj, but I'm just saying, if something should happen, and I don't want it to, but if something should happen, you know, we've always got optic decay, so it's that.
Optic Decay is a peasant compared to me.
Oh, God. Doing this again.
I must have missed the joke, but I'm glad.
It's okay. Don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
No, that's why
Or spread that message
I
around.
I must have missed the joke, but I'm just glad it's there.
I actually would love to get Samaj and Rob onto a stream again. Just like have him come on, and they could just either they can have like a live art drawing contest type thing where Samaj draws a picture live and fucking Rob draws one live too, and they just go at it talking shit on each other while drawing like the gayest of fucking pictures probably. Because Schmeckel is gonna demand like you have to draw this thing, and I'm just gonna be like, no, that's fucking gay as shit. Like, no one believes for a second, Schmeckel, that you are the king of anything, not even your own fucking castle.
It's bad enough. I already drew him as a judge.
Yeah,
Something
but that
tells me-
was funny.
Yeah, something tells me he's gonna let that go to his head. He's gonna do a lot more judge-related shows. I'm like,
Most
okay.
likely.
I hope not.
It was very accurate, though, that there was a bunch of empty beer bottles around him as well.
That was the point.
He judges us all while drinking his face off.
Yeah, that's a Schmeckel thing. That's a get good and smashed kind of guy.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty fucking obvious.
Yeah, I'm not wrong.
No, you're not wrong. Oh,
That could be worse, yes.
So a lot of people have been, I don't know, triggering me, pissing me off lately, whatever the case is.
Well, you know, back in my day, we used to call it pissing people off, but carry on.
We're all in our 30s here. Okay, wait, actually, Magnus, are you actually in your 30s still?
No, my 30s were about 2 years ago, close to 3.
Yay, me and Samaj are the young ones in the stream for once.
Yeah, I'm the old fart that talks a bunch of shit that gets you guys in trouble.
That's accurate. That's one of them, Bruni, you son of a bitch.
What Bruni do?
He put in the chat, GT is greater than Super. This is wrong.
Boy. Oh boy.
You know what?
wrong,
You know what? You know what? Having been watching Dragon Ball since my younger days, I have to say Bruni's not wrong.
No, Bruni is wrong.
Hold up. GT was hot fucking garbage, no doubt about it. But honestly, if you sat me down and gave me the option to watch either or, I'd be watching GT.
Why would you watch GT when you have Super at your disposal? or disposable?
Because at least GT made some fucking sense and stuck with the way the power levels are supposed to work.
No. First of all, no, it didn't. Second of all, hell fucking no, it didn't. How can you even say that it actually stuck to its own story and it, you know, one, Goku gets transformed back into a kid because the eternal fucking dragon from a corrupt set of Dragon Balls that are the Black Star Dragon Balls made from King Piccolo himself. They are the reason why Goku is a fucking child. He has to travel the entire fucking galaxy, and the only way he can become an adult again is when he actually transforms into Super Saiyan 4. Yet, if he goes Super Saiyan level 2, or even Super Saiyan level 3, he's still a child. Explain!
Well, because I don't know.
Exactly.
Because
they
it wasn't.
can't even keep their own fucking lore.
I'll explain it perfectly. It's because in GT wasn't written by Akira Toriyama. That was somebody else's doohickey.
Yeah, that was actually an entirely fan-based thing. Somehow, some fucking fan decided to continue the franchise, created Dragon Ball fucking GT, Dragon Ball Grand Tour, by the way, and went on this massive fucking adventure that didn't make any fucking sense. Now, as some people have tried to point out to me in the past, or, well, recently, sure, Toriyama came up with the concept for Pan. Somebody even tried to say and actually put into the same category that Pan and Goten, and I'm like, Goten was around since the Buu Saga. You really fucked that one up because that was already an established character in Dragon Ball Z. Not GT, Z. Goten is a fucking adult in GT. But anyways, yeah, Toriyama came up with the design for a few characters, and he even came up with some of the actual story for GT. Most likely, they were going to be other movies he was going to do, but he eventually walked away from the project almost entirely because he's just tired of it. Or he just didn't want to do it. Who fucking knows? It's Toriyama.
Well, keeping in mind, I'm the type of fan of most anything that if I felt the need to, I could walk away from it and never look back. Therein lies the problem. That's why I don't get as excited as everybody else does about, oh my God, they just defiled whatever the fuck. Because I've never been a fan of anything, not even Transformers. And you guys know how I feel about the Transformers. I've never been such a fan of anything that I couldn't just, turn my back on it completely and say, fuck it, I'm done.
You don't make sense, sir.
Why not?
Fandom is everything, don't you know?
Yeah, I don't understand your I can just walk away from this fandom bullshit.
Well,
do you have any idea how hard it's been for me to walk away from fucking Star Wars?
Well, that's because you're a little too attached to it.
I would have the Imperial fucking symbols tattooed on me by now if I had the money for it.
Keeping in mind, I survived through so many fucking fandoms in the past that I'm like, that's what happens if you get a little too attached to something. Okay, I think I'll not fucking do that. And I've been the same ever since. Like, I mean, you guys have fucking seen toxic fandoms. I mean, for fuck's sake, Steven Universe should have been burned as soon as Cartoon Network saw what kind of shitbags liked that. But they didn't.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't. They let it go.
I wasn't paying attention.
Steven Universe, that fandom is so toxic and horrible that Cartoon Network should have canceled it as soon as they saw what the people were like.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been paying attention to the chat because I was like looking at other shit. We have a $2 super chat from Pinoid News. I'm sorry I didn't smash niggas last night. Okay, I guess he's just mad that he didn't beat people up or something. AP has decided to get things wrong.
What?
The end of Z, it was the Buu Saga. That was the end of Z. There was no Pan in the end of Z.
Yeah, there was.
No, Videl wasn't. Gohan and fucking Videl were not married at the end of Z.
Well, at the end of Z, Pan was a little what, like 4 or 5 year old girl whooping people's asses in the Tenkaichi Budokai.
No, you guys are actually mixing things up. Pan was not a thing at the end of Dragon Ball Z. The end of Dragon Ball Z was basically fucking Goku had just beaten Buu and everybody was getting back to normal and shit. Gohan and Videl were not actually married. They didn't have their granddaughter or anything like that. Pan was a character that basically was only existed for GT, but Toriyama wanted to do shit with her. Now, there could be a fucking hidden episode I never got to watch, or I was just so fucking mad at the Buu Saga that I didn't actually pay attention to it. But let me go ahead and see if I can find the final episode of fucking Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
I think Pan was.
I was going to say, they ended the whole Z thing with an episode where everybody decides to go to the fucking Budokai again and fight in the tournament. And apparently that's where Majin Buu's reincarnation Oob decided to show up.
Ubu.
Yeah, what the hell happened to Ubu?
He died. He died of a terrible disease.
No, he still technically exists. He's mentioned in Super as a newborn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they have Pan as a newborn again. Yeah, see, there's a picture from that episode I was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the episode, Goku takes Oob and flies off to train him, like he was supposed to.
Right.
But that was supposed to be where the whole fucking series ended. Was Goku was basically Oob was supposed to be being trained as Goku's replacement, as the asshole who saves Earth every time somebody in the universe farts.
Oh wow, yeah, Cartoon Network fucked up.
I don't see how that.
No, yeah, I was wrong. I was very, very wrong.
It's okay.
No, but see, what this actually means then is that if these are episodes at the end of Dragon Ball Z, then what they decided to do was they actually retconned the end of Dragon Ball Z for Dragon Ball Super. Because Dragon Ball Super legitimately picks up a few years after the Buu incident. But Oob is not born. Pan is only barely born. And the story of Battle of the Gods is legitimately just where all these episodes were supposed to have fucking taken place. It just retconned it all. That's what ended up happening. This is one of the reasons why Toriyama pisses me the fuck off.
Because Pan just regressed back into an embryo, crawled back inside her mom so she could do the whole, let's turn Goku.
American Phoenix, I'm reading the fucking chat. I see it. I'm not gonna fucking... God damn it.
What?
He just keeps repeating the same thing. He wants me to shut my stupid cunt mouth. And it's just like, okay, dude, I get it. I'm reading the fucking chat. You think I don't fucking know what's going on? You know what? I'm going to fucking send a goddamn link to AP. AP, are you available? Do you want to come on?
Apparently we're talking Dragon Ball, so...
Well, I was just bringing up the fact that people have been pissing me off lately with fucking like a bunch of different fandoms, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT.
Well, see, the problem is I know a guy who's like a really, really into Dragon Ball. That's part of the reason why I even know half the shit I know about Dragon Ball Z, other than casually watching here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I do have the Dragon Ball Xenoverse games and Dragon Ball Fighter Z, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Android 21 is definitely my DBZ waifu.
Should I send you all the nudie waifu wallpapers I've made of her?
It's okay. Chances are I already have them.
Yeah, but not made specifically to be smartphone wallpapers. You don't.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, yeah, sure. Send them over. But yeah, Android 21. I fucking love her. I got thinking to myself because when they did the in Super, when they redid the whole movies in the sense of and incorporated them as a TV series, which was silly as far as I'm concerned. But they did that to integrate that into the TV show, so you don't have to watch the movies. You can start watching the show. I get that, but if they wanted to incorporate Android 21, would they have to make a whole anime or TV series around that as well to incorporate her?
That's a possibility. I mean, you know, Android 21's not exactly a canon character. At least that's what people keep telling me.
She's not.
Yeah, but she's definitely a fan favorite. And Toriyama.
What the part that gets me is nobody was like, "She's Android 16's mother." What the fuck?
That sounds like a very Toriyama thing to say.
Is she though?
According to Dragon Ball Fighter Z, yes, she's Android 16's mother.
That's very odd because she looks younger than Android 16, and Android 16 is nothing more than the modeled version of Dr. Giro's son, who died in the attack that Goku did in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, now stop and think of the implications. That means Dr. Giro was stepping that hot piece of ass.
Yes, but that also means that he's kept her on ice for over 20 years.
Well, considering the shit he's done with other people, it wouldn't fucking surprise me a bit.
Fair enough. Yeah, he did basically take a twin boy and girl and just fuck with their genetics with cybernetic enhancements and all kinds of other crazy shit. They're cyborgs. They're not fucking androids.
That was part of the reason why the whole thing with Goku going, "How can she have babies?" was fucking hilarious, to be quite honest, because if she's an android, how does she have babies?
Yeah, but that's the kind of shit that really just bugs the fuck out of me when it comes to the Dragon Ball Z mythos and everything. Just because we know what they are, say what they are. Stop fucking pretending like you're retarded as hell. Like, oh, we have to do a direct translate. No, motherfucker, no. This is an android. Android 16, that's a fucking android. Android 19, that's an android. 20 and 17 and 18, no, those are cyborgs. Please stop fucking, getting it wrong. That is clear. 20 was clearly Dr. Giro. 17 and 18 were clearly former humans that were fucking enhanced and basically became cyborgs. They're cyborgs. Call them what they fucking are. Stop calling them androids. They don't constitute as androids. On top of that, Cell is not a fucking android. He's a super clone.
That would also mean that Dr. Giro is technically not Android 20 or whatever the hell he is either, because if he used to be human, then he's a cyborg too.
That's what I'm saying. They're not androids. They are cyborgs.
Yeah, we can at least, all agree that Toriyama is not exactly the greatest person when it comes to understanding of the differences between things, or even for that matter, keeping track of anything. Because let's not forget, when he did Super, he tried to make Bulma blonde.
Keeping track of things, yes, but in their language, in the Japanese language, they don't actually have a technical word for cyborg, so that's why they just called everything an android.
Well, and everybody keeps saying that Toriyama's really, really forgetful, and it's like, how forgetful do you have to be to fuck up that bad? I mean, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty outstanding how much he keeps messing this up.
Hmm?
Well, the bad part about it is it was said that he was deliberately doing certain things in the Majin Buu saga, hoping that people would get tired of Dragon Ball and let him quit and retire and all that shit. And we see how well that took. He pulled an Ozzy Osbourne, did his retirement sucks tour called Dragon Ball Super.
Oh boy, AP needs to get in here. Yeah. So there, Brock?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm distracted by things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem.
He's playing with his penis, in other words.
That is not actually what's happening. No, okay, so Super is also a bit of there's a slight misconception with what's going on there. Toriyama actually did not want to necessarily come back entirely for Super and such. He was obligated to do so. On top of that, yes, Toriyama is extremely forgetful. He shoots from the hip. He makes things up as he goes. It's very fucking annoying. It's very, very fucking annoying. When throughout all of Dragon Ball Z, you watch him develop the shit out of Gohan to eventually come to the fucking height of his power in the end of the Cell Saga. And he's the one who beats Cell. Later, he is pressured and told he has to come back for one more saga, and thus we have the Buu saga. And yes, he did intentionally do things throughout the show because he wanted people to fucking just drop it already. It's like, okay, we know you love it, but I fucking want to do other things. I don't want to just do this forever. Fuck you people. And so he did deliberately do certain things throughout the Buu saga. One of them probably was making Gohan the biggest bitch cuck in the entirety of all of the fucking series, because Gohan goes from actually being that hidden secret bullet weapon that everyone ends up relying on at the end of the Cell Saga to suddenly being the most half-assed fucking takes a back seat fighter of them all. Why? Why did they fucking go that route?
Because
I know his mom.
Mystic now.
No, no. And the fact that they call him Mystic Gohan just pisses me off even more. Why the fuck is he suddenly Mystic Gohan? Because he wore Kai robes and had a Kai sword and had those Kai earrings? Fuck you. That's retarded.
Because the old codger did the happy dance and sat there holding his hands out at him for like 20 hours or whatever it was.
All he did was pull out the remainder of his fucking potential. That's it. That's all he just completed what the guru, Super Kami Guru did to him on fucking Namek. That was interrupted because Frieza showed up and Gohan basically wanted to step outside and have a word with Frieza. Fair enough, whatever, cool. So all you did was complete the thing that was going on when he was a fucking kid. All right. How does that suddenly make him Mystic Gohan? And then for them to come back to that in Dragon Ball Super, where instead of going Super Saiyan, he's going with the black hair and he's somehow more powerful than a Super Saiyan. It's just like, I don't understand what's happening anymore. When a Saiyan transforms into a Super Saiyan, their power is enhanced a great deal. He is no longer doing this method, yet somehow has managed to actually go past that, go beyond a Super Saiyan to the point where he stays in his normal physical regular form. There's no special thing about him. There's no special lightning or hair change color or even fucking removal of eyebrows and extreme 80s hair locks. That was confusing. None of that goes on with Gohan. He just stays looking like Gohan. Cool. Care to explain how this is somehow more powerful? Because my brain is still trying to figure this out. It's dumb. It's extremely retarded as fuck. And are you trying to say this is also now Gohan is on the same level as fucking Super Saiyan level Blue? Because...
well, we all know Power Levels is bullshit.
No, it's not even just that. It's just like, so Vegeta and Goku have the power of a god as Super Saiyan Blue. What does Gohan have? What's going on with Gohan? What is this non-Super Saiyan form he does? It's not mystic. It's not magical. What is this? They even made a big deal out of it where Piccolo, as he was training him, said, show me your power. Show me what your true power is. And I'm like, it's a Super Saiyan. That's what his true power. What is this shit? I don't understand what's happening anymore. You're fucking confusing me. IIRC Gohan didn't want to be a fighter to begin with.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he went Plus Ultra.
Okay, I'm pretty sure a 4-year-old doesn't know what the fuck he wants to be, but that's pretty much what Gohan was. In the very first episode of Dragon Ball, he was 4. That same day, he went to go and see Daddy's friends. He got kidnapped by his uncle and then headbutted the shit out of his uncle and then watched his dad and uncle die because some alien demon-looking motherfucker killed him, and then got kidnapped by the alien demon motherfucker for an entire fucking year. He is 5 years old by the time he faces off against Vegeta and Nappa, which I don't know what age Japanese children are able to have fully capable conversations, but I don't think it's 4 or 5.
He was about the most muscular 5-year-old in the universe, I would imagine.
Oh, dude.
Just a thought that just occurred to me, because we know that he helped save his father from his uncle, Raditz and all that. Did they technically participate in murdering a family member?
Yeah.
But
yeah. I don't know. I guess he never quite comprehended that. It's like, oh, I literally killed family.
Well, apparently when it comes to Saiyans, that doesn't matter so much, so I guess that's a non-issue.
I guess you're right. I mean, why would they care? I guess Saiyans themselves, they're already a vicious race. I'm sure they're used to murdering themselves all the time.
I mean, for fuck's sakes, Vegeta just offed Nappa like it wasn't shit.
Yeah, that's true. Nappa did not stand a chance.
Although I would have liked to have seen how big his handlebar mustache would have gotten if he had gone Super Saiyan 3.
I would have liked to have seen that too. I actually like Nappa. I know he was like a big dumb, lug and all that, but I found him entertaining.
Yeah.
What would you say that it was? Like a Fu Manchu?
Yeah, something in that
the
neighborhood.
mustache?
Yeah, Nappa's mustache.
I think it was just a regular mustache, but it's anime, so sometimes it's just going to look weird. If you actually pay attention to the entirety of the Saiyan saga with Nappa, his mustache changes frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what, then. Samaj, what your next art project should be is complete sexual fan fiction centered around Nappa's mustache.
No, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not touching that one. No.
But you're going to be thinking about it for a while, and you're going to be skeeving yourself out, too.
I hope not. I pray to God I don't do that. Oh.
I know how you artsy types think. You're going to be thinking about Nappa's mustache twirled around a penis.
Oh, shut up. I don't want to dignify any of this.
Yeah. It does get kind of annoying when you honestly get into these discussions, because there's always going to be those people that really don't care about the discussion. They're just going to say whatever they want because they just want to watch the world burn. They don't fucking care otherwise. They really don't care about the actual topic or anything like that. But they know that people who say GT is canon will,
I'm pretty sure Toriyama said it's not.
It's not, because Super eliminates everything that happens in GT. It completely eliminates everything that happens in GT. And on top of that, it only makes me wonder what the fuck they were thinking when I looked over and skimmed through that final episode of Dragon Ball Z where Goku is training Oob. Now, again, I watched all of Dragon Ball Z on basically Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, whatever the fuck it was, Toonami, that shit. They cut that show off and do not continue shortly after the Boo Saga. So anything after that, that was missing episodes, never aired in America to me and to a lot of people probably. So
You know, the only bad thing about it is I did see that episode on American TV. So you might have just been like, oh, it's over with, and you just quit watching, which I can understand that. But I saw that episode on TV, so it was aired. I do know that.
I never saw those episodes. When somebody convinced me to watch GT, that's when I saw those episodes. They had apparently moved the final, I don't know, X amount of episodes from Z over to the first X amount of episodes for GT. That's how I saw it. Because it does seem weird that Goku all of a sudden has a change of wardrobe at the end of Z, which is basically what he's wearing. And then somehow, for some fucking reason, goes back to wearing the same orange gi that he always wears throughout all of Z. It's just like there are certain things that don't make sense to me, but at the same time, I'm not gonna fucking fight this anymore. I don't give a shit.
But you know what? Are they really supposed to make sense at this point? I mean, for fuck's sakes.
No, it's just some people.
Here's the thing. I quit watching Super when what's her name? Kale, the Brawly ripoff, tanked a fucking Kamehameha from Super Saiyan Blue Goku and walked out without a scratch. After that, I was like, fuck this show.
Well, Toriyama has gone on record to say that he believes the most powerful Saiyan is still Brawly. So giving us Brawly 2.0 and Kale was, well, actually, no, that wasn't Kale. But basically giving us Brawly 2.0 and that one female Saiyan, which was very fucking odd.
Yeah, that was Kale. The other one's Caulifla. I do know that. So.
Well, no, because Kale is the dude that Vegeta fought in the tournament between 7 and 6.
You don't want me to have to prove you wrong, do you?
Oh, let me look it up then. Jesus.
Just type in these numbers and letters and all that. Yeah. So have you guys seen that new Venom trailer?
Yeah, I'm really wanting to see it, but at the same time, kind of not.
Me too. I mean, I know I'm gonna see it, but I'm kind of like, I kind of don't want to. And chances are, I mean, it comes out like what, October? Something
October
like that?
5th, if I remember right.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I probably will see it. I'll be heading off and going off to Mexico November. So
Why would you want to go down there? People are trying all the time to get out of there and get into our country.
well, warmer climate. Need a change of pace. Be there for a while.
Yeah, well, make sure you take plenty of water with you because you can't drink the water down there, and you're going to need it to stay hydrated and alive.
Yeah. Oh, I'm always got to remember if I'm going to go anywhere, got to bring my own toilet paper. Because apparently, my mom was there for about a week, and it turns out that bathrooms are really hard to come across. And if you do have to pay to use them, and then you have to pay to use the toilet paper. So I'm like, I'm just going to bring my own. On top of all that, all the bathrooms they have there are really, really small or really, really thin. So I need to lose some weight if I'm going to fit into one of those. When my mom told me about that, I was having nightmares just thinking about fitting into a bathroom and trying to wipe my ass in one of those tiny places.
You know what? Anybody else suddenly interested in having Samaj send us back a video if he gets stuck in a toilet in Mexico?
No, that sounds like a terrible idea.
Sounds like a great idea to me. Just Samaj sending back a video. Well, guys, I'm stuck in a toilet in Mexico.
I'll live stream it. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, it smells like tamales and sin.
So I looked it up, and you were right. Kale is the fucking chick, and Kaba is the fucking male. I have to say, it was a joke at first. Toriyama needs to stop fucking naming every goddamn Saiyan after a fucking vegetable. Because when you realize the guy's name is Kaba, you think to yourself, that is probably the gayest fucking stage name anyone could ever have.
Well, you know, the bad thing about it is the original planet the Saiyans were from was basically amounted to planet salad. So
It sounds like that. Which, speaking of that, is I know that there was like some, I don't know if it was a special or something like that. They introduced Vegeta's little brother. Is that canon?
no, I think that was a one-off because I saw that where apparently he was being chased around by a couple of Frieza's guys who were just kind of somehow absent from planet Namek. So I think that was just a one-off. But I mean, it was kind of a cool concept that Vegeta has a little brother, and
It's
he
a
was
stupid
exiled
one.
from their home planet because he couldn't fight. Okay.
No, that you realize how horribly wrong that actually is, right?
Well, you should have seen the thing he was married to. That was twice as wrong as that whole concept.
I've seen screenshots, and I can't remember what the little brother's name is supposed to be, but look at the age of Vegeta's little brother.
His name was Tarble. So Vegeta and Tarble. So vegetable, basically. Again.
Yeah. Okay. So it's completely irrelevant. Pay attention to his brother's age or how he looks. What age do you think that character is?
He looks like he's a hell of a lot younger than Vegeta is.
Care to explain why Vegeta was probably about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old when Planet Vegeta actually blew up, and there was never a mention of him having a younger brother at all, ever, once, and that it actually looks like Vegeta is more than 10 years older than his younger brother?
Well, that's part of the reason why I said, I don't believe it could be canon now that you brought that up, because it's like, yeah, I'm thinking that would be next to impossible to make that any form of canon. Just
No, it's the same thing with Bulma's older sister. I reject the false sibling. I reject this sudden appearance of a character we have never heard of until just now, and it's very fucking stupid and strange that never once was these characters mentioned in the entire fucking history of Dragon Ball.
well,
Bulma's never said anything about an older sister.
Supposedly, she's part of a different story that Toriyama did, which honestly, that doesn't mean much if you think about it. I mean,
I have a different theory on that. She's blonde and she looks just like Bulma, especially with the hair color style. So perhaps when he was drawing up blonde Bulma and his people told him, no, Bulma has blue hair, he suddenly had this idea, well, I really like this, so we're going to put it in the show anyways. Well, what are we going to do? Make her a clone? No, we'll just say it's our older sister. Great, you're fucking dumb.
Yeah, well, if he wanted a blonde chick in the show, he could have just brought back Launch, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, the character he completely forgot existed throughout the entirety of Dragon Ball Z until the Buu Saga, when Goku asked everybody across the globe for their energy, and she just randomly shows up in her trucker jacket.
Uh-huh. I mean, you'd think, if Toriyama's memory is that fucking horrible, he would, write notes or something. Just something.
You would think that this. You would think that people would learn their lessons if they keep making the same mistake over and over again, but clearly, no, they don't. No, this one does not.
Well, maybe Toriyama's just crazy. I mean, the definition of insanity is, doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results every time.
Is this what happened to me and Samaj?
Probably.
All right, Samaj, we may have found the root of our problem. He muted himself, so he's probably not even next to his computer.
No, he probably went off for a fapping break.
I really don't want to think that Samaj is that turned on by our very retarded, very dumb discussion about Dragon Ball Z. Also, how did we get on this topic?
I don't know. You tell me.
I think it's because I brought it up, and then Bruni decided to be a dick in the chat and say that GT was better than Super. It's not. It's not. One, GT is not canon anymore. I don't really think it ever really was canon, to be honest, because it made very little sense. The villains in GT were fucking stupid. The only one that was even remotely good, in my opinion, was probably Baby, and even then, that's a bit of a stretch because, yeah, okay, I'm totally going to believe that this strange bio fucking Boo is that goddamn powerful and capable of all of that destruction. Stupid fucking goddamn story arc. I really don't like anything from GT. GT was, in my opinion, a giant trash fire that never should have existed. It was horrible. It is awful. It couldn't keep to its own fucking stories. It seemed to have forgotten how characters are supposed to act. First of all, why is it that Goten is all about the fight when he's a kid? Mind you, that Gohan was actually trying to legitimately become a scholar because his mom was forcing him to, but Goten was never forced to go down that route. In fact, Goten was the one Chi-Chi wanted to be the fighter of the family. So Goten was all about the fight when he was a kid. But when he gets older, when he's a teenager, suddenly his phone and his girlfriend are everything. What?
Typical
What the
teenagers.
fuck? No. And even then, he's not actually a teenager. He's a fucking adult. Because Trunks is a fucking adult at that point. Additionally, it's very strange that much time would pass between Dragon Ball Z's ending with the Ubu stuff and Dragon Ball GT's beginning, and Pan's still the same fucking age. Just very fucking weird to me. Additionally to that, Trunks is the head of the Capsule Corp, or he's one of their CEOs, something along those lines, and goes on a fucking galaxy-wide adventure to get the 7 Dragon Balls that once they have been used, once the Black Star Dragon Balls have been used, they're scattered across the galaxy. If they don't get it back by the year's end, the planet that the wish was made on will blow up. Like, there's so much shit happening in the first fucking story alone, and it just really goes nowhere. Nowhere. It made no sense. It was very fucking dumb.
You're saying all this as if I gave a fuck enough to watch GT, dude.
That's more so fucking pointing it out to the audience. It's just, there was way too much shit going on. New rules were being established and then broken. New fucking stories just for the sake of having an adventure were being thrown in our faces. And I'm like, look, I understand wanting to have an adventure and everything like that, but an organic development would be far more believable than well, they have to travel the galaxy. Why? Because the world would blow up. Why? They used the Dragon Balls to blow up the world?
Well, it was Emperor Pilaf who fucking used the Dragon Balls, but
yeah, because out of nowhere, all of a sudden, another set of Dragon Balls exist. The Black Star Dragon Balls. What? What? This is why I get really pissed off when they fucking throw new goddamn developments in stories like this. It's like, why was this never mentioned before? Also, throughout all of Dragon Ball Z, it is abundantly clear that there's only one set of Namekian that can actually create the Dragon Balls. There's those of the Dragon Clan and those of the Warrior Clan. Warriors can't make Dragon Balls.
Well, and apparently Piccolo and Kami were the same person, so I could see how Piccolo could do it. Maybe, possibly. I mean, they were the same guy, technically.
See, and that's the other confusing part, because when they actually tell you that, they tell you that King Piccolo and Kami used to be one and the same person, and their real name is lost to time.
Right.
Kami is from the Dragon Clan, while King Piccolo was from the Warrior Clan. And then you suddenly think to yourself and realize, how? They were once the same person. You can only, as one person, belong to one clan. So how did that one person who suddenly split become one of each?
Yeah,
This is confusing.
Question.
Well, I think what they were trying to do, and I really don't remember much about GT if they ever explained this, but I think what they were hinting at one point was that the true form of Piccolo and Kami's original, Namekian form, I think what he actually was essentially a super Namekian. Sort of like what a Super Saiyan is to Saiyans, but he's just, the most powerful version of the Namekians and such. And that was the reason why he was even chosen to become the next new god. But of course, there was a conflict of evil within him, and Kami had to purge himself of that. But doing so split him into two different people, and he, throughout time, forgot what his real name used to be, and Piccolo never cared to fucking try to remember because he was now his own person. And then eventually that Piccolo created a technical clone of himself, but it's really just, child. And now Piccolo, young Piccolo, has fused back with Kami. So they're the same person again, so to speak.
Which, if you think about it, when Piccolo was training Gohan, technically he was only about 2 years older than Gohan.
No.
Yeah, remember he was Piccolo Jr. He was only about 4 years old, a couple of years old when he fought Goku in the tournament. And he was about 6 when he trained Gohan.
No. I believe Piccolo's just a little older than that. I think technically Piccolo's actually 12 by the time he runs into Goku in Dragon Ball Z.
He's old enough to be a Yoshi.
He is a Yoshi.
He is a Yoshi, yeah. And he ends up being Gohan's dad, kind of. I always liked that.
His adopted father.
Yeah, and I always liked that little dynamic. Like, I remember in the Cell Saga when Gohan's training with Goku in the hyperbolic time chamber, and afterwards it's like, oh yeah, we need to get you some new clothes and stuff, and he says, no, I want Piccolo to give me some clothes.
Well, but I have to bring this up because it's been bugging the piss out of me for a while. I made the mistake. Normally I watch subbed anime. It's a preference. If you like dubbed, go for it. The reason I can't get into the dubbed is I get sick of turning my back on the screen while a character in a show is talking, and I'm not hearing that character. I'm hearing, like, here's a perfect example. Watching dubbed One Piece, I kind of get tired of every time Zoro opens his mouth, I'm looking around at the screen like, Piccolo?
Fair enough. Well, for me, that's sort of a differences in geographical locations, because when I was watching Dragon Ball, I was watching in Canada, and at that time we had a strange thing where if you're going to show anime, you have to dub it with Canadian actors. So it was a weird thing at the time, but there was a lot of anime that was dubbed in Canada.
Was that the 4Kids version that apparently
no
been a hooker on vacation?
Unlike that, the versions we got here were fairly uncensored. But
thank God for you.
Yes, it was fairly. It's weird. I mean, Dragon Ball Z was still censored, just not nearly as bad as the American one had it. But also, oddly enough, it was a different rule for um, like movies. So, like, we had like um, certain channels that were devoted to cartoons and certain channels devoted to sci-fi, and they each had like late night anime movies, and they were all like older anime movies that were R-rated, if you will. It was the first time I ever saw Ninja Scroll, and it was uncensored. Everything was there: blood, gore, titties, and everything. I loved
Nice.
it. I think I was like maybe like 12 or something at the time.
Well, that was why you were liking it.
Yeah, it could be it too. Yeah,
I
but
remember the first anime I watched and seeing fucking bare titties and all the whole show. I was like, I got to find more of this. Of course, I was 18 at the time, so
well, fair enough. I loved how anime got away with so much more nudity than most of the other shows that we got there. Like I remember, what was the most graphic American show that was ever animated? I'm thinking the HBO version of Spawn. I can't try to remember if they had a nudity on that show.
the most graphic American cartoon that's ever been, I'm pretty sure, is Heavy Metal.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Heavy Metal did a great job. I had I had such high hopes for Heavy Metal 2000. They
Yeah,
just
so did I.
they just didn't deliver. It was what they delivered was kind of crappy.
Well, and instead of it being like a bunch of different stories connected by one thread, it was one story that kind of sucked.
Well, a Heavy Metal magazine is supposed to be that. It's like an anthology of different short stories. And
Yeah.
the first Heavy Metal movie, they did that, and they did it wonderfully. In fact, they didn't even have to incorporate the little thread that connected them, the evil orb, if
No,
you
but
will.
well, adding in the Lochnar just made it okay. How are all these different weird and unrelated stories connected? Well, it was that one item, the Lochnar, which I thought was kind of cool because it still had the same style as the original Heavy Metal magazine, a bunch of different little short stories, and hell, a couple of the stories they left out of it because I got like the cut where they actually threw in the extra cartoons at the end, which those were really good. It's like, why didn't they incorporate this into the movie? I only made it like 5 minutes or so longer.
I don't know.
Like just to give you an idea, there was a story that was supposed to be in between what was it, the trial of Captain What's His Butt, and then the one where the ghosts of the World War II guys, the dead bodies were coming back to life.
Mhm.
There was supposed to be a short little animation between those two where the guy that had the green orb, his hand lands in the ocean, and then it starts the process of evolution, goes very quickly through like all of human history up to World War II, and then from there it was supposed to transition into that cartoon of the fighter planes in World War II,
Oh,
which was really nice. It was awesome. And it was like if somebody the way the cartoon was done was it was in the style of an animation student's like final project. So it wasn't perfect, but it fit. It was nice. It was fun to watch.
that one short you recall with the taxi driver. Is it me, or did that feel an awful lot like it was very similar to The Fifth Element?
Hey, that might have been where they got the Fifth Element idea from. But my favorite line of that particular cartoon was when you see the little green alien dude saying he forgot his papers, and the guy just walks by and says, "Goddamn illegal aliens."
Marcus, have you seen Heavy Metal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. You've been quiet. I'm like, oh, do you know what we're talking about? Or we just
No, I was looking up information, and I swear to God, it is confusing the goddamn shit out of me right now.
You know, the only thing I'm enjoying about modern times is the number of times I've gotten into arguments over characters and character names and things, and now I could just say, well, just Google it. Back then, people would be like, "Nuh-uh, you're wrong and I'm right, and that's all there is to it."
Yeah, there's definitely a divide between the modern day like fandoms and stuff. I do like to think that I really hate how things have gone with American cartoons. There's a reason why people are migrating over to anime and why anime has leaped into like the billion-dollar industry that it is.
And fandoms are exactly the reason why people hate weebs so fucking much.
Well, I mean, arguably, I think fandoms is the reason people hate these things at all. I mean, a lot of us really like, let's say, like Rick and Morty, but I hate the fandom, like, especially when it came to that Szechuan sauce incident.
Oh, I hate Rick and Morty with a purple passion, but that's just me.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Not for everyone. I
had to refrain from telling off a guy that posted that fucking gif of Rick doing that wubba lubba dub dub shit. I was about ready to verbally rip him a new one right then and there, and I was like, no, fuck it.
Yeah, fair enough. It can be very frustrating. But,
well, it's because everybody's like, oh, well, you have to have such a high IQ to watch Rick and Morty, and then I see these assholes jumping up and down on a McDonald's counter screaming about Szechuan sauce, and I was like, how retarded do you have to be to like that show again?
Exactly.
Like, okay, so I actually protested Rick and Morty for the longest time just because, like, I kept hearing from people, it's such a good show, and I tried watching it once or twice, and I was just like, the show is fucking garbage. What the hell is wrong with any of you? And then I actually gave it another watch, and I'm not going to lie, Rick and Morty is actually a pretty good show. The problem I have with it is really just the same problem Samaj does. It's the fan base. The fan base causes me to look at the show and say, you are still trash. But you're trash that I actually enjoy because, surprisingly enough, it's actually funny. And one of the things that I actually find more interesting is Morty knows how Rick is, and most of the problems in that show are actually Morty's fault. Realistically, when you think about it, Morty is the cause of most of his problems.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Hold on a second.
But this is the part in life where I still just look at Rick and Morty and I'm like, why do people even watch this?
There is nothing else to watch.
Oh, well, there's plenty to watch. I mean, for fuck's sakes.
Well, I don't think that it's an awful show, and I think it is a fairly entertaining one. But some of the jokes are kind of annoying. They feel very what's the word I'm looking for here? ADD ridden. I don't know. It's not something that's all that great. Sometimes I think some of the sci-fi elements and some of the horror elements of the show are actually fairly entertaining. Like there's the one where the sister Summer, she had to stay in the car and wait for Morty and Grandpa to come back, and the car has to protect her, and all random stuff sort of happens, and the car ends up killing people just to protect her, and it gets more and more like a horror kind of a show. And I thought, Jesus Christ, you guys got away with this?
Oh, so they're not just ripping off Back to the Future; they're also apparently ripping off Christine too.
Well, they rip off a fair bit. They make, you can't see the little my fingers doing the quotations here, but they're saying homages. There's a lot of homages in the show, but that's sort of the idea. They borrow heavily from all kinds of pop culture.
Yeah, when they say borrow or homages, that's usually the part when my bullshit detector starts going nuts.
Exactly, as it should.
I mean,
Yeah.
Dan Harmon's already proved that he's gone around the bend somewhere about 10 years back. So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Dan Harmon has definitely gone off the deep end. What with all of his ramblings and all that.
I don't know. Maybe it's well past time for humanity to go extinct. You know, just throwing that out there.
I'm not quite ready to give up on it just yet. I think a lot of the problems that we're facing in this regards is also problems within the education. I mean, earlier on Revelation, we were talking about like Common Core and how fucking awful it is. How
Well,
much of
we were also talking about some fucking crazy lady who decided that it was her job to try to run a guy over just because he's voted for Trump. That was his crime, and she felt obligated to try to run his ass over with her car.
right? Yeah, that was
It's like you fucknuts do realize that if I were doing the same shit you guys were, this truck of peace would be smeared with blood and probably have a lot of car parts hanging out of the fucking grill. Why don't you assholes cut it the fuck out already? You voted for Hillary? Burr, burr.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
I
the
mean,
whole
we got a bunch of psychotic assholes who out here in the world who claim that they're the good guys because they voted for Hillary Clinton. It's like, if you assholes are that psychotic, I'd hate seeing what happened if she got into office.
oh god, yeah. Yeah, that whole election thing was quite eye-opening. It was really, really, really ridiculous how people would behave. Like, I remember seeing people with like Trump hats getting beaten up and all that. Speaking of controversial figures getting beaten up, did you guys hear about Jeremy at the quartering?
Yeah, I brought that up on Revelations a couple of days ago.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know if we ever brought it up on here. Brockus, did you hear about this?
Yeah, I heard that he got sucker punched.
He had some wimpy faggot try to beat his head in, but apparently, like I said, it was a wimpy faggot.
Well, apparently I think he's also, now they haven't really confirmed it, but they think it's a guy who's also a store owner.
Yeah, the guy's a vendor at the con, apparently.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from Jeremy. I don't know if he met the guy again or if the guy's decided. Yeah,
The guy's been named and shamed, so.
Okay, well that's good.
And apparently that wimpy faggot who tried to beat up the back of Jeremy's head also protected his Twitter.
Oh, well then.
Surprise me! Why don't you?
I'm so shocked. Why?
It's like, look, if you're sitting there beating the hell out of the back of somebody's head, and the worst they're getting is a few cuts and abrasions, no concussion, you haven't even managed to knock them the fuck out, you need a testosterone boost badly.
Yeah, start hitting the gym. All right. Do something. Eat red meat.
Either that or stop sucking dick. One of the two. Jesus.
So one of the things that I was researching is how old is Piccolo Jr. in comparison to Gohan. Neither of us were correct, Magnus.
Really?
But we were strangely on the opposite ends of what the actual number is.
Okay, so what was the end result there?
He's 10 by the time Dragon Ball Z starts and he meets Gohan.
Really?
Yeah. I looked at it, and Goku is about 14 years old when he actually beats Piccolo, King Piccolo. And that's when the egg is, spewed out of his mouth, and Piccolo Jr. eventually is born within that time frame. But 4 years later, he fights Piccolo Jr. in the Piccolo Jr. saga and the World Martial Arts Tournament.
Right.
Then it's about 2 years later, him and Chi-Chi actually get married. 4 years after that, at the start of Dragon Ball Z, Goku is 24 years old.
Oh,
Gohan is 4 years old. Count it all up, Piccolo Jr. is 10.
okay, fair enough.
So we were both wrong, but we were very close to the actual number.
Well, fair enough.
Weird.
Hey, I ain't got no problem with being wrong. I just, because I'm sitting here just going off of off of memory. It was like, yeah, because that was the tournament where Chi-Chi and Goku fought each other, and then I thought they were supposed to have gotten married like right after that tournament.
Yeah, but there's supposed to be this 2-year marker between when they actually fought in the tournament and when like Gohan is actually born. Because like as I was looking up the information, they basically state that Goku is 18 years old by the time of that part in the story when he fights and beats King Piccolo, because that is the end of Dragon Ball. That tournament ends Dragon Ball. Goku and Chi-Chi get married after that, and then the fucking story is over. That's it.
And they never kiss.
Somehow, they never fucking kiss.
Yeah, somehow the guy that married him forgot to say you may now kiss the bride. Because in Super, Goku has no clue what a fucking kiss is, and Vegeta's looking at him like, are you high?
Okay, so I just looked over at the chat finally after looking all this fucking information up. Somebody just said one of the best things. Holy cow, a child was a better father than Goku. Accurate. Very accurate.
A 10-year-old was a better dad than Goku. Yes, you are correct.
That's fucking hilarious, though.
Although he was a bit of an abusive parent, truth be told.
That's still twisted, though, because then you have to come to the realization that in Dragon Ball Super, they clearly state Piccolo is a better grandfather than Goku.
Yeah,
That's the most unattentive fucking type of father you will ever see.
Look, I'm just saying that if Gohan just learned to dodge, he wouldn't have been hit so often. I'm just saying, it wouldn't technically be child abuse if he dodged.
Yeah, that's true.
Why are you running a sub-program? It's not that complex!
What? What?
That has got to be one of my absolute favorite moments in the abridged, because as soon as he just screams like, why are you running a sub-program to dodge? It's not that complex. Because, it's a robot versus a human. And as soon as he says it, Piccolo he shoots the dirtiest look at Gohan. It's just too goddamn funny. Just staring at him like, you are the most disappointing thing of my life.
Oh, man.
You know what? At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, realistically speaking, it doesn't matter if people think that GT is better than Super. It doesn't matter if people think that GT is canon. They're wrong. But we can all agree that Team 4 Star's Dragon Ball Z Abridged is the greatest thing to ever happen to the Dragon Ball franchise.
Yeah, I would have to say so.
I like it. I do.
I still think that one cartoon where Vegeta had to take a dump was one of the best things ever.
Also, what the hell is taking them so long with the next episode? I know that a lot's happened, but it's been a while.
One of the things that's actually taken them a while is because right after that episode, the follow-up episode was also both the last two episodes were hit very hard with the whole copyright shit. They basically got hit again, but they got got hit harder than they have in the past.
Well,
Okay.
copyright. What are you talking about?
Technically, even though it is an actual changed, redubbed version of the original project with several different new edits, Toei Animation and Funimation have been throwing goddamn bitch fit with Team 4-Star since the beginning. And every once in a while, there is a copyright strike done to Team 4-Star, despite the fact it is consistently under fair use law. Still, there are those out there who keep pushing it simply because they don't like what they're doing to their projects, or they don't like what they're doing to their properties. It's a joke. In fact, this is actually...
Is that why I got hit with a copyright thing? Because of all I did was post a clip from Bleach where they had a fart joke, and that got taken down.
That could be. I mean, I don't know what the reasons were, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Ray Stone's actually pointing out Japanese copyright versus U.S. copyright. The Japanese copyright laws are actually a lot different than the U.S. copyright laws. And at the end of the day, Dragon Ball, even if it is co-owned by Funimation, it is originally owned by Toei Animation and their studios.
Well, I do have to admit that it seems a little ridiculous for them to nail me just over a fucking clip from Bleach. For fuck's sakes, it was just a fucking clip, but they took it down apparently.
Some people they're just going to do things like that. It doesn't matter if it's actually following any of the laws that specifically say, like, yeah, sure, copyright laws and this and so on. There are always going to be those people out there that will just be complete assholes saying, no, that's not yours. You don't get to do that. And it's fucking ridiculous. It's like, you really going to be that much of a child? All I'm doing is making a critique or using it as a joke reference for this or whatever. It's fucking stupid. It's annoying, but there's always going to be those people.
Well, and they do have like the legal standing because it is their intellectual property. So, and they have the right to protect their intellectual property. So, I mean, legally, I can see why they want to do that, but at the same time,
let's keep in mind, I got nailed over a clip, and it wasn't like a fucking, it was only like barely a couple of minutes long. Hell, I've even posted like my favorite One Piece fart joke on YouTube. That one mercifully hasn't been hit yet, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, there are some channels out there that are most of the time never touched necessarily, because they have found ways around being able to do what they do. Some channels out there will do reviews on things like anime and stuff like that, and they will not be monetized channels, even though they are definitely in the thousands when it comes to subscribers, even though they could easily monetize their channel should they want to. As long as the channel's not monetized, no one in Japan can really do anything about it. Like, they're just using it as a clip. If that were the case, they would...
That's just it. My channel no part of my channel is monetized whatsoever.
No, I understand that. One of the things, though, is this is the other factor. Channels like Gigguk are so big that when Gigguk actually does a review of any anime or talks about animes, even if it's just briefly, he actually brings a lot of attention to those shows. There will be more purchases of the manga, more purchases of the anime, more subscriptions to Crunchyroll and My Anime List. There will be more downloads. There will be more this, so on and so forth. Technically, what Giga does, because of the amount of traffic he gets, they see it as lucrative. Also, Giga is Asian, so they're not going to have a problem with it.
Of course.
Yeah, and essentially, people like Giga, or even people like PewDiePie, when they do this stuff, it is actually beneficial to them. You, however, give no benefit to them. So they're going to copyright strike you. They're going to take your shit down. They're going to claim your shit because they can, because you're tiny. You have nothing and no one to really fight your battles for you. Team Four Star is a different story. They're clipping entire episodes together, editing them differently, putting a different voice track on there, and all that stuff. But even still, you can still argue copyright argument in Japan versus here in America. Blah blah blah. What Team Four Star goes through is a little bit different than what somebody like Giga does or what somebody like you do. Sometimes you're just going to get hit. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. All you can do is keep pushing the whole, fucking, it's under copyright law. It's under this, it's under that. And I think who brought it up? I think it was Ray Stone mentioned, now that we have the international media, we need to combine copyright laws, but that's a mess of worms. I think he meant can of worms. No, Tyro, it's not necessarily an anime stream. It's a random stream.
Yeah, whatever we feel like talking about. We had things planned out, but it didn't quite go that way.
Nope. We even had a last-minute backup plan that could have gone down, but didn't. So whatever, no big deal.
Yeah. So this is the problem when people don't answer their DMs.
Yeah.
What? Why, Tyro? Do you want to come in and talk anime?
I think Tyro probably would. He really likes to nerd out. I'm surprised Schmeckle hasn't started screaming at Broncos to stop talking at him. Schmeckle's not here.
Yeah, as far as he's concerned, he doesn't know any of this is happening.
Yep. See, when I talk about anime at length on this stream, that's hint number one. Schmeckle has no control on the stream.
Mm-hmm. You get nothing.
I think Tyro does one on the stream because Schmeckle's not here, and two, we're talking about anime. Although, again, we don't necessarily have to talk about anime. It's just lately that has been the top. The Guardian was starting some shit on Twitter. It's one of the reasons why I even mentioned people have been trying to piss me off earlier.
Oh, yeah? You starting shit, Brockus?
I didn't start anything. The Guardian was starting shit with AP in the chat by saying that GT is canon. It's not. And then on top of that, Bruni was also joining in. But it was mostly The Guardian. And then he took that shit to Twitter. And then Politipod decided to jump in and start saying that both GT and Super are equally trash. I can't exactly argue. I can't exactly argue with Politipod because when I actually look back, as much as I fucking despise GT, Super has way too many problems for me to actually comfortably say that was a good show. There are elements to Super I enjoyed, but overall, every saga was disappointing. The only one I think I actually enjoyed, other than the movie sagas, because we already had a movie about them, was probably the tournament between Universes 6 and 7. And even then, I was kind of disappointed.
You know what wasn't disappointing about GT? Vegeta's mustache. That thing was interesting.
His mustache.
Mustache. Yeah.
Well, it just proved that it looked too much like his dad when he had it.
Oh, he wants to fight me on Darling in the Franxx.
What?
Yeah. Okay, so you remember my stream from a while ago? Well, he was kind of spurging out in the chat when we were just shitting all over Darling in the Franxx.
I'm sorry, it's trash.
It is. It's garbage. That is a shit series.
That's hardly.
I haven't even seen it.
You're not missing much. It was one of those shows that everyone thought it was going to save the mecha anime genre, and it just shat all over itself. It ended up being really bad.
Yeah, here's the sad part. This is supposed to be a mech anime, a giant mech anime. Do you know what it really was? A gay slice of life with the occasional giant mech.
It felt like they watched a little too much of Canadian soap operas. It was pretty bad.
It was a little bit of giant mech with a lot of gay innuendo.
No, it was just a whole lot of fucking gay slice of life with the occasional giant mech. Fakest.
Oh, well,
It started good. No, it didn't even start good. I'm sorry, but when one of your main cast members, the fat guy, which doesn't make any sense at all, to be honest, but the fat guy is such a stereotype that in episodes 1, 2, 3, and half of 4, that fucker is always eating or complaining about not eating, you've got a problem. The first 3 episodes are the building blocks of the entire show. The first 3 episodes show you where the show is supposed to go, what kind of a vibe the show is supposed to be. In the first 3 episodes of Darling in the Franxx, it is so maddeningly confusing. I didn't know what half the shit was going on. Also, how the fuck is a chick, one, named Naomi, but it's spelled Naomi? Okay. So you
It's
don't know how to...
It's Japanese pronunciation.
Oh,
That's
no. I watched the dub, and they were still saying Naomi. It's confusing. But with a character named fucking Naomi, who is a significance in the story for a brief moment because she was originally Hiro's partner, and they're not compatible. She's compatible enough to fly a fucking Franxx, to basically be a part of a Franxx, but he's not compatible with her to be able to move the fucking thing. And both of them quit. Well, she quits and goes back to her fucking plantation or whatever, and somehow survives a Klaxosaur crushing the entirety of the goddamn dome thing that she was riding in. How? She should have died.
Giving me spoiler alert, shouldn't you?
Dude, you don't care. You shouldn't care about these spoilers. Not only is the show relatively old, but it's just, this is a shit show.
I still haven't seen it. I mean, technically, it's spoilers for me. Of course, I think I'd have to give a fuck about spoilers before I'd worry too much about it. So
yeah, I've talked to you plenty of times to know that you don't really care about spoilers that much.
Yeah, no.
Also, you especially don't care about trash shows.
Well, I'm going to watch it anyway, just because I keep hearing people tell me it's good, and then I hear you and Samaj telling me it's trash, so...
It's 24 episodes of what the fuck.
I kind of enjoy what the fuck, so that'll be at least worth watching as far as I'm concerned.
Frankly, I'm pretty sure it's what I've always said. It's a problem where you get a lot of really talented artists doing a lot of really cool things, but not knowing what the fuck to do with any of it. That it's such a hot mess that it's not even like why bother? Tyro, hey.
Heyo.
Hey.
Well, hello, Tyro.
Hi, good nigga.
So Schmeckel's not here, so no wonder the stream is actually pretty good this time.
Well, there's only like what, 3 of us here?
Yeah, all that also helps. And none of us are yelling. Yeah. Anyway, just to dispel the vicious rumor that Brock has just started about me. No, I don't spurg out. At least as far as I know, I don't spurg out.
Well,
I've yet to
Tyro,
spurg out. Let's say that.
You said nobody's yelling, but I could, remedy that if you want me to.
No. I've had a pretty good day on the lack of yelling. I dealt with I had a 5-hour stream on the Scooby drama that is now resolved. All parties agreed not to continue it, so good resolution there.
Okay, I'll reiterate that with the question mark at the end. Scooby drama?
Yeah.
Sorry, go for it.
Sure. So yesterday on the Cunt stream, there was a shit show, and then Scooby's was accused of stuff. So today we went over all the stuff he was accused of and the evidence for it. He's been cleared of all the doxing, definitively so. Like, oh my god. And the threats thing was really the only thing left, and so we dealt with that. And Burnside likewise, and Pod has apologized multiple times now for what he did. Now the current current thing is we now think people got played. People got played hard by a troll. So it was unfortunate. The whole thing was people overreacting to a troll, which then prompted other people to overreact to that overreaction, and spiral of drama and badness.
So you're saying all parties involved have resolved the issue?
Yeah, all the as far as we can tell, all the accusers are like, okay, yeah, Kaz and Pod are done. Scooby and Burnside are done. Apologies have been made. Disagreements were found. There was a fundamental disagreement about what constitutes doxing. We had like a very long debate on doxing, which was very annoying. I eventually got to a point where I was like, if you start debating doxing again, I will boot you from this server. You will not be. It's like, just get out.
No, yeah, I actually was not gonna lie, was listening to it earlier, but then Fright Power Hour came on, and I ditched that fucking. Yeah, I ditched your stream for AP and Ghastly. I will do that even for the Cunt stream.
Cannot debate that. I don't question that, but yeah, no, it was okay. I'd moderated it decently well. Things were calm. We avoided a shit show. Like when the screaming started to ramp up, I just muted, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to ease you guys back in. All right, there we go. So that seemed to work.
Okay. Well, the only reason why I ask it because you said all parties involved. There are two names I didn't hear that were involved.
Right.
Leaf.
Well, three. You guys did have Cass on, but Cass didn't get his say. So Pod, Cass, and Leaf are apparently all resolved. GCV, not so much, but no one really cares about him anymore.
I almost feel bad for having absolutely no fucking clue what you guys are talking about. And then the word drama keeps floating to the surface.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It was stupid drama. It was the gayest of dramas. It was
that all day yesterday.
Well, you could write a book. You could write a book out of that. It was the gayest of dramas. It was the worst of dramas.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, the gayest of dramas is a good description. Oh well, hey, we got 6 minutes. A few others. Anyway, so I should probably shut up about it. If people are interested in it, there is a 5-hour stream on Moonfest Destinies. And it's an episode of Lo-Fi's Low Lives. You are free to sit through and watch that and share my pain.
I think I could go for the rest of my life without having seen that.
Tyro, after the 4 hours, no, was it 4 hours? How many fucking hours did we stream that shit yesterday?
It went on for quite a long time. This drama was. I'm done.
Yeah,
Hopefully
either way, Tyro, you should know I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna watch a goddamn stream. I was done with that drama as soon as we went off air. I had to you were there, Tyro. You heard me yell at everyone.
Yes. Yeah, the main reason we did a follow-up was because the Cunt stream was such a shit show, and because nothing got resolved, and there were more questions than answers during that, so no one had any idea what was going on. So we did the follow-up stream. Now everyone knows what happened. We dug into it. Now the gayness was exposed. Basically, now everyone realizes that, oh, you're just all a bunch of fucking retards. Yes. Okay. And then all the people involved said, oh, I apologize for being such a fucking retard. And there we go. The end. So.
Yeah.
There we go.
Whew. But there was no doxing. There was no actual bad stuff. It was just overreactions and emotions running hot. Nothing super terrible, really. Honest.
Yep. I'm saying that since the fucking shit went down, because we've defined what doxing actually is multiple times since the Zeph incidents.
Yeah. Oh, and Zeph decided to insert himself while we were having our stream. He crashed Scooby's server, so I let him know. And Scooby was like, "Hey, Burnside, go take care of that," and he got kicked.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
So it's what they had a emotional connection, not a sexual one.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Oh boy, yeah. Well, Zeph's been monitoring this whole drama and stuff and posting about it. He thinks it's hilarious because he hates Pod, he hates Burnside, so he's like, "Yeah, I want them both to destroy each other."
I would imagine he's looking for any excuse to try and tear people down. Because from what I hear, he's out for vengeance. So
something like that.
He watches Yeah, the gayest kind of vengeance.
Out for vengeance. That is the gayest thing I've heard in forever.
Yeah, sorry if my language is a bit more coarse than usual. It's just after hanging out with the certain elements, it starts rubbing off on you.
No, fair enough. But I just want to point out.
Hold up. Tyro, have you ever fucking met me? You're like saying your language is coarse, and it's like, you've been on Relations, right? You've heard me talk.
Yeah, well, just people tend to expect me to talk a certain way, and I'm not talking that way right now.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I think we can live with it.
Now, in other interesting developments, apparently Magog is watching a documentary about a leftist who decided to learn about guns and learn how to shoot to better understand Second Amendment arguments.
Okay.
I want to know who
this isn't the one where like the AR-15 gave me PTSD from shooting, was it?
What?
You guys not hear about? Oh no, there was like I think it was New York Times, or it was like a major journalist. He went out to a firing range to fire an AR-15. This was after one of the school shootings, and then his article was like, as the bullet ripped out of the gun and the kickback pushed in and the sounds and blah blah blah. Like when his graphic detail, it's like I was just so traumatized by it all. He describes having PTSD after having fired a gun. He was mocked so hard.
What sounds to me? It sounds like what?
Well, I was going to say, now that is a genuine faggot.
I was going to say, what traumatized him is that maybe I don't know, an ounce of testosterone went through him. This isn't natural.
There, I found the article. It's actually the first thing. If you pop up AR-15 PTSD, it's the first thing. Gersh Kunzman, that's the guy. Well, so what's it like to fire an AR-15? Horrifying, menacing, and very, very loud.
Well, see, the problem with these assholes is I think I actually did the right thing in my lifetime, because I actually am in touch with my inner evil. I know it would be easy as hell for me to kill people. I could probably do it without trying. Problem is, these assholes wind up doing it because they're pretending they're good people and they're not. I know I could be evil, and that's why I wind up just being a good person by default. I know the shit I'm capable of. I mean, for fuck's sakes, I used to go hunting as a kid. I was a good shot as long as the target wasn't moving. Rabbit hunting was a bit weird, because I'd always end up blowing their back leg off somehow. Figure that one out. Somehow I would manage to shoot them, but it was always like taking their back leg almost in half.
Oof. So they're unlucky rabbit's foot?
Well, it was my lucky rabbit's foot after they got done with it.
So
but
okay.
Yeah, I think for a rabbit, a lucky rabbit's foot wouldn't be exactly a thing.
Are any of you familiar with the website JList?
Say it again?
Yeah.
You're familiar with JList, correct?
Oh, JList, yes.
You know how it's a website that sells all kinds of different Japanese products, snacks, anime.
Yep. All kinds of wholesome things. Good for the whole family.
So there's a corner of the JList that also sells the sex toys. Let's not be fucking foolish here.
Don't spoil it. I wanted people to run into it themselves.
Well,
okay.
a while ago.
Hang on, Brockus. Could you toss me a link in my Twitter? Just for research.
I will send you a link later. But basically, I'm on their Discord for JList. Now, I don't know if this is the actual official JList Discord, but I did get it off the JList fucking Twitter account. And so I joined not too long ago. Now, as you would expect, JList has its own not safe for work section. It has its images channels, anime pictures, GIFs, and not safe for work. And of course, the not safe for work is locked. You have to be 18 plus in order to actually access it. Can anyone explain to me why it's filled with just fucking memes?
Someone's being ironic.
They're not even harmful memes. They're
No, they're-
casual memes.
Oh my goodness.
That's it.
Casual.
Yeah, casual memes, as in all somebody has done. An example. Does anybody watch the newest series, Cells at Work?
Oh, I'm working on a review of Cells at Work with Lo-Fi. It's going to be our first collab video.
Nice. Well, the red blood cell, main female protagonist, is holding the box of oxygen that all the red blood cells carry around as delivery package people and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been repackaged. Apparently, it is one box of butthurt.
One box of butter.
Aw.
That is the type of memes that this not safe for work section of J-List's fucking Discord is filled with. The closest to any kind of hentai that is actually on here is the snack hentai. It's where people have taken images from hentai manga or hentai images and shit like that from various different websites and put Subway fucking sandwiches in replacement of dicks and randomly a bag of Lay's potato chips somewhere around there as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've heard of those. Yeah.
Well,
That's it.
Did you guys ever try the Jared special when after he went to jail at Subway?
I don't want to have any of that.
The Jared special was pretty good. It was foot long double meat on white.
Dr. Koala Tyro actually, one of the first links he put in there was a link to that stream, the follow-up stream from earlier tonight on Lunafest Destiny. Just scroll up and look for the one that's the YouTube link.
Yeah, I did post that. You're welcome to bask in the 5 hours of pain. Now, when I describe it as 5 hours of pain, by the end of it, all of us were exhausted. Like even the assholeness of Pod had drained by the end of that 5 hours. That's how intense it was. It made Pod less of an asshole at the end of it.
At the end of the day, Pod is an asshole to a lot of people, especially Samaj and me. But Pod will be an asshole to a lot of people, but eventually even he gets tired of being an asshole and just kind of chills the fuck out.
Yeah,
fair enough. I think Samaj might be distracted by the Twitter sending him.
Where you send me tweets?
Apparently, the documentary that Magog is making him want to buy another gun. Magog, how many guns do you have?
Official or unofficial?
Well, seeing as how he's... wait a second, what are you sending me? Oh! I gladly accept these, Magnus.
I'm not done yet. I've been sitting here making them the whole time we've been talking, for fuck's sakes.
Holy balls. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna give you one chance, one opportunity. I'm not gonna quote any more from that song, Tyro, to try and defend Darling in the Franxx. I will warn you now. I am pretty set in my belief that it is a trash anime.
Okay,
and does not deserve the praise it actually has.
Okay, I don't think I can necessarily change your opinion. What I can do, though, is stress. I think if you walk into Darling in the Franxx expecting the typical wham bang mecha explosion thing, I think that's where it goes. It's a defiance of expectations in that regard, but not in a bad way, in my opinion. So I see it as the yin to Gurren Lagann's yang. So yang was all about hot blood, wah, the spiral energy. This one was about the characters first, and specifically about the theme of the partnership and on relying on one another. And that was the central theme for this. So the mecha and the other things were just window dressing to it. The main core of it was always the exploring the concept of humanity, especially with that whole setup of like, this is a future where like people have forgotten how to have sex. People have forgotten how to pair bond in many ways.
Tyro, I have to admit that the way you explain that it sounded so gay. I almost feel like I should be taking a shower in the corner to the song "The Crying."
Say that again. Sorry, you roboted a little.
Yeah.
I said the way you explained "Darling in the Franxx" when you first was talking about the yin and yang. That sounded so gay. I feel like I should be crying in the corner of a shower to the song "The Crying Game."
No. Okay. Well, maybe I overdid it then. Okay, but
Okay, and Samaj, check your DMs. There is more in store, so to speak.
oh boy. Yes. Oh, I will also warn you guys. Apparently, Trippy got his hands on the Liz Reptile porn and has been sending it out to people.
No!
So be careful. If
So-
Trippy DMs you, you don't know what's in it.
So if Trippy sends me a link to anything, or just sends me and I see that it's a photo, just
Run.
block him. I'm gonna block Trippy. If you're hearing this, I will block you if you send me anything remotely close to that.
No, dude,
Yeah.
dude, you don't understand. I've seen some Liz Reptile porn. You don't need the trauma.
I've seen a picture. I have looked into the Eye of Sauron. I don't want to see it again.
Good eye or eyes? I thought she had two of them.
No, it's the two buttholes, but one of them is the Eye of Sauron.
Okay, because it glows red.
But no, that is trauma no one deserves at all.
I'm laughing too fucking hard to make a joke.
He's on the documentary. Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
I actually I had a documentary kick a few years ago. I don't know what it was, but like I was super interested in just a variety of different topics when it came to documentaries. I think one of my personal favorites was the shit behind the scenes with Michael Moore, specifically the documentary called Michael Moore is a Liar.
Oh,
You don't need a documentary to know that. What the fuck's wrong
Yeah,
with these people?
well, I loved it because, special guest appearance by Penn Jillette and a few other people. I thought it was great because Penn Jillette said one of the most honest things anyone in the entertainment business could ever say.
Which
Everyone in
was-
this business is a fucking liar. Everyone. I'm a liar by profession. My literal job is to go up and lie to people. And I was just like, fuck. Hell yeah, Penn.
Well, I mean, anybody who has any idea what acting is, you're pretending to be someone or something you're not. So yeah, he's not wrong. And he's a
Well-
magician. He's supposed to lie to people.
Yeah. He was making that comment, however, specifically around the whole Michael Moore tells the truth. Michael Moore only tells the truth, blah, blah, blah. And he's one of those people that has always hated Michael Moore because of how he carries himself and all that shit. And he doesn't believe for 1 second that Michael Moore is an actual, honest, genuine person. He thinks he's one of the most disingenuous human beings on the planet, and that's one of the reasons why he said what he was saying. And
Yeah.
he was also commenting on the fact that even as a documentary, the documentary is going to be cut and edited in a way that is going to be, to a certain degree, deceptive.
to reflect the bias of its creator. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's, again, like Penn Jillette's segment in that documentary was the most honest thing I think anyone could have actually said in that situation. And I was like, fuck, man. Like, he got a lot of respect for me for that alone. And I was already a fan of Penn and Teller because I love their fucking specials. I love their magic show. I've never gotten to see one live. And my favorite fucking show, like from years ago, was Bullshit. It was an amazing fucking show. I loved that thing.
I remember that one.
Yeah. But no, anyways, okay, so yes, I understand what how you viewed Darling in the Franxx, but here's my problem. They didn't forget how to have sex. That at all. Some of the people, maybe. I'll give you some of the people, like specifically in the city. But
Yeah, the adults clearly are not having sex.
Because they can't. They've lost their sex drive. The drug that allows them to actually stay immortal or be immortal, so long as nothing tries to legitimately kill them and shit, because they just stop aging altogether once they start taking this drug and they get their regular fix and everything like that. Their sex organs are completely destroyed. Not in the sense that suddenly men don't have dick and balls. No. They still have them. It's just they don't work. Other than being a fucking piss hole or a piss hose, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So they have no sex drive. They have no need for sex.
Yeah, the only older male in the entire show is Dr. Franks, because he's only a cyborg. He, as far as we know, he doesn't actually go through the treatment. He just extends his life with robots. Yeah, robotic implants.
And so later on in the story, he actually he points out why he does that, and that's why I know that your premise, I can understand why you would have it, but if you dissect the entire thing, you've got to remember how full of shit he is.
Oh, Dr. Franks?
Yes, Dr. Franks wants to experiment with an entire team of fucking teenagers to see if humanity will naturally go back to its original course of procreation, companionship, romance, so on and so forth. Right. We already know that is fucking 100% true. It is ingrained in our genetics. When you study biology, anatomy, sociology, and all that other shit that he has clearly studied, that's one of the things they teach you. Humanity's natural fucking course of action is preservation of our kind. When you have working sex organs, when you have hormones pumping through your goddamn veins, like the kids who were technically untouched by the immortal drug that kills their fucking sex drive, when that is actually a factor in your fucking mind, that will happen every fucking time. You can, for hundreds of years, eliminate that concept from humanity, but it will always come back.
Right. And I think to a degree he was worried, did our modern technology extinguish it? And it was like, oh, no, it didn't. But I think also it was more than just that stated reason. Because remember, he lost his wife. He never had kids of his own. So to an extent, these are his surrogate children. He wanted them to be normal. It gave him a sense of humanity as well, given his desires. I think it just played to his complex character. His character is arguably the most complex in the series because he had a lot of knowledge. He had clearly a lot of insight into what the heck was going on. They didn't give him as much time to do exposition as they should have. I will say I fault the show for not giving us as much exposition as it could have. We just got that one flashback to fill things in, and boom, that was it. I'm like, oh no, I wanted more. Give me more. The aliens thing was rushed. I wish they hadn't gone the aliens route. I felt that was tacked on.
Trigger.
Yeah, it's Trigger. Yeah.
It's the only time you can actually say trigger to everybody.
But I felt it stayed true to the themes. The main thing is the thematic strength really came through with the message of the pair bonding. It also I kind of enjoyed watching the Tumblr meltdown over this show, because this show with a strong emphasis on heterosexual pairings and reproduction. Oh my God, Tumblr was triggered. It's like, it's reinforcing gender stereotypes. It's proposing that straight, it might actually be a correct answer. Oh my God. So
because it is I enjoyed to continue the species, you fucking retards. Anyways.
Yeah.
No, one of the problems I had with that, actually, now, since we're on that particular topic, did you not think Mitsuru was gay?
Yeah, actually, I thought initially that Mitsuru had a crush on Hiro.
Every sign said, wants Hiro's dick. And then out of nowhere, the Silverhead chick who decided to betray her partner only 10 minutes after promising she would be his partner forever. No, Silverhair. There was only one blonde, and she didn't play much of a part in the entire fucking story.
Wait, hold on. All right, maybe I missaw the color of her hair then.
Zorame was the only blonde in the story, and I say Zorame is a she because Zorame and Miku or Miko are the exact same character. They're just a male and a female version.
Yeah, and very antagonistic. Yeah.
Yeah. But, and the reason why I refer to Zorame as a she is because that is quite possibly the most obvious female character you would get with a dick. Anyways, no. It just confused the shit out of me because here we have Mitsuru. Everything is telling us he's gay. And then out of nowhere, Kokoro comes in, kisses him. He's not sure what fucking happened. Again, he's reacting the way a gay character who's not quite sure that they're gay or really doesn't understand the concept of gay would react. Everything about, and then she starts to essentially undress him. And he's freaking out even more. But then, like, later on, he comes to the conclusion, no, yeah, he's actually not gay. He totally wants to put his dick in her.
Yeah,
He
that was
doesn't know
triggering
why.
to a lot of Tumblr, which I didn't mind that.
It
But
triggered me. I was fucking mad. I'm like, wait, you had the gay character right here, but you didn't follow through with it. And now we have this lesbian you're not building on. What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, Mitsuru easily, one, Mitsuru could have been bi. Two, I think part of the implication with like his fever and things like that is his attachment to Hiro. He felt betrayed. He thought it was romantic, but then he got over it. And he realized, no, wait, it's not romantic. It's just this sense of betrayal. That's what's causing this. No, all right, I'm not that way.
No,
You know,
no,
it was just him coming to terms with something.
I get that. They went the overly complicated way of explaining what they needed to explain. Still, it's overly complicated. They should have just stuck with the gay. They should have just kept Mitsuru as gay. Why? Because, god damn it, dude, did I have to really go through another fucking anime where the fat guy just doesn't get shit?
I agree. I am disappointed. I will agree with you. The Kokoro not hooking up with him. I thought that was a cute couple. Then they broke it up, and I was like, I'm not sure I like where this is going.
It wasn't even just that. Aside from 02 and Hiro having the most obvious of relationships that's just plastered in your fucking face every episode since the two of them team up.
I liked
the only
02 and Hiro though. They were a cute couple.
They were adorable, and their fucking exposition episodes were fucking fantastic. I loved them. They were the only things I liked. 3 episodes. There are 24 episodes. I liked 3. Everything else was garbage to me. Anyways,
Okay.
but Futoshi and Kokoro, those two were fucking cute and adorable, and they acted like an actual fucking couple. They imitated everything that 02, who clearly knows about this stuff. I don't know how she knows about sex. I don't know how she knows about love. I don't know how she knows what a kiss is. I don't know how she knows what sex is. She knows everything that these fucking 6 kids should have been taught. Technically 5, because one of them disappears, loses her fucking arm, and is apparently a secret lesbian too. But she knows all of this stuff, most likely taught to her by the fucking doctor, Dr. Franks himself. And she has to actually explain in vague details to Hiro, who then explains to the other kids what all the shit is going on with them. And I'm like, couldn't somebody have just fucking stepped in and explained puberty to these poor kids? They're clearly going through puberty. They clearly don't know what's happening. It's muddying up more shit than it needs to be. This is clearly a fucking group, a controlled group that is being tested by Dr. Franks for his own purposes. It was agreed upon. No one is allowed to touch it. But here, the 9s are allowed to fucking intervene because daddy said so.
Well, can I just make one comment here while we're ass deep in this?
Sure.
You fucking weebs.
Yeah.
Weebs get rather passionate about their anime.
I actually really do love talking about anime, and I love getting passionate about anime. I hate having to argue anime with certain other weebs, because then I'm just dealing with retards.
Oh yeah. I tried to be.
Then why do you even fucking bother doing it? I watch what I watch. I enjoy it, and I leave it at that. If I get into a discussion about it with people, fine.
Oh, that's part of the fun.
I'm not going to argue about it with anybody.
No,
I
I'll argue
don't
with
do
it.
argumentation. I try to do like, here's what I liked, here are the merits. I like to analyze. I like to break things down. I like to think about the media I consume. So yeah, I agree with, like, when it just boils down to a matter of opinion, well, you can't really argue that, but you can still discuss the merits and the themes and so on. So
Well, Here's the thing. I'm in a server on Discord where the guys like runs a YouTube channel. It's Joy Boy, if anybody knows what I'm talking about.
No.
I'm in his Discord server, and he does like One Piece theories and My Hero Academia.
No. Okay.
And I was trying to explain a theory that I have about One Piece because I was looking at it and I was like, oh well, you know.
Which
so I
one?
came up with a theory. Nobody fucking gets what I'm trying to say apparently because. Like, okay, you got the character Usopp in One Piece.
Right.
For anybody who knows what I'm talking about, he's looking for the legendary giant kingdom of Elbaf. Well, most spellings I see, it's the word fable spelled backwards, which I was like, oh, so this probably has something to do with Aesop's Fables, which is an old story where most people get all the sayings that they attribute to the Bible from.
You know,
I was trying to explain a fucking theory I had about it. It's like there's going to be some connection to Aesop's Fables with Usopp looking for Elbaf. It's going to be in there somewhere. Nobody fucking understood what I was talking about. It's like, did you motherfuckers ever read a fucking book when you were in school?
Yeah. It is frustrating when you're like, hey, that reference, I think it's a reference to this, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? Like, don't you know basic things? Yeah, Aesop's Fable. Okay, man, you just pointed out to me, I just got that. Wow, that took me forever. Thank you for that.
Now, let me ask you this,
well,
man.
you know what I think. Well, I have to bring this up right quick first. How bad do you think I felt the day I had to point out to somebody who'd been watching Looney Tunes cartoons forever that the whole joke with the abominable snowman petting Bugs Bunny and he's gonna love him and squeeze him and name him George? What kind of asshole nerd do you think I felt like when I was the one who first pointed it out to somebody that was a reference to Of Mice and Men?
Oh yeah, I got the same shit.
Yeah. Oh well, okay, that's true. I just thought about that because I didn't read Of Mice and Men until way after I stopped kind of watching Looney Tunes stuff. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. I actually just got that too. Huh.
My dad made me watch the old black and white Of Mice and Men when I was a kid, around the time that I was also watching those cartoons. I made the reference in school one time, got made fun of very heavily because they were basically saying something to the effects, I'm a nerd, I'm a fucking geek, all that shit. So I kept to myself my own fucking level of intelligence from everyone and played the fool most of my fucking school career because of the ridicule I would get anytime I actually said something smart.
Oh, I see. See, I just owned it. I got a nickname like calculator, computer, that stuff, whatever. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Tyro, I think I should point out to you, you do know what the abominable snowman's name was in the show, right?
No, I've completely forgotten. What was it?
His name was Lenny.
Oh my god!
That's how you got the reference. He's picking up. I'm gonna love him and pet him and squeeze him and name him George. George and Lenny from Of Mice and Men. Well,
right.
back in when those cartoons were made, that was like a pop culture reference. So,
yeah, because it was fresh book. I mean, the thing was what 1937. Yeah, 1937. So yeah, Looney Tunes was it was practically contemporary. That's why you have like Clark Gable and stuff in some of those old Looney Tunes as well. They got a bunch of old actors in them. Because back then, those are the fresh faces.
Now, let me ask you this, Magnus.
Yes.
Which do you think is more entertaining? When you basically say, Darling in the Franxx was a bad anime. Or me going at length explaining why it was a bad anime in the most spurgy, rageful fucking way you could imagine, which I have done.
Dude, that was more entertaining, but at the same time, if I sat down long enough, I could explain to anybody why their favorite anime is shit.
No, yeah, fair enough.
Oh, true.
Especially if I've seen it.
One of my favorite things as an actual fan of anime is actually making fun of weebs. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well,
because some people take shit way too fucking seriously. I really don't like Darling in the Franxx because it was way too fucking convoluted. It didn't
Okay.
need to be so fucking there is a beginning, a middle, and an end for all good stories. Sometimes the simplest fucking writing is the best solution for something that is supposed to be complicated. Sometimes complicated writing is the best solution to fucking the simplest of story arcs.
Well,
This tried to be both at the same time, and it didn't make any sense.
Well, let me, since if you didn't like Darling in the Franxx, I've got a mech anime that you might actually enjoy. And this was one of the first instances I'd ever seen of an anime within an anime. It's a show called Martian Successor Nadesico.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I
Wow,
watched
man.
many years. You saw that. So you know the anime within the anime that I'm talking about. The fucking their star mech pilot's a fucking weeb who watches a mech anime called Gekiganger 3. So if that gives you an idea. And then the final movie for Nadesico was a full-length Gekiganger 3 movie.
Yeah,
That's kind of funny, actually.
yeah, which homage to the
Well, I mean-
70s and 80s. Yeah. Oh man, it's been so long since
Well,
I've seen
yeah,
Nadesico. Oh boy.
That was the whole fucking thing that made it funny was for Gekiganger 3 was like the anime within the anime. So whatever usually I think Tyro helped me out here because it's been a while since I've seen it too, but whatever was going on in the episode of Gekiganger 3 the guy was watching usually kind of mirrored what was going on in the episode.
No,
Then
hold on.
What?
Wait,
What?
no. I need to bring this to attention. Leaf, just because you're half Japanese does not mean you're not allowed to be a weeb.
No, I am exempt from being a weeb because I am half Japanese. That is how it works.
Bullshit.
Well, okay, hold on. Wait, so if you're half Japanese, what's the other half?
I'm an Irish German mix on my dad's side.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we overlap on the Irish part. So half of me hates your guts because I'm half Chinese.
Oh, God damn it.
Well, the other half of you should hate her because she's Canadian.
Okay, well, since I've actually gone through the trouble of doing it, now you guys get to do it. You got to make it something funny because my fucking family is like got English, German, and fucking Scottish in there. So
Oh, okay.
I take great pleasure in telling people I'm a limey McNazi.
Yeah.
So
also,
now you guys get to go through the trouble of coming up with something funny like that for you.
Tom Pinoid says that Sailor Moon is the best anime.
He then
Fuck
changed
you.
to Powerpuff Girls.
And you decided to say that Sailor Moon has great hentai. Tyro, we don't talk about the Sailor Moon hentai.
What? Hey. I cannot make the case that Sailor Moon is the best anime because no. Is it a good anime or is it a landmark anime? Yes. I mean, as a manga, the concepts it introduced, it said a lot of things. It introduced the concept of a magical girl team, which was big. It also had a lot of interesting themes and stuff to it that have been copied ad infinitum since. So as a landmark, sure. In terms of quality, it's got a lot of flaws.
Well, you know what? If you really want to skip the bull crap and go straight to the magical girl hentai, look up one called Venus 5.
No.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was the parody of Sailor Moon too.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And of course, you have Magical Girl I, which they didn't release all the episodes. So like one episode there was incest. They did not release that episode, so the series was never finished in the U.S.
Well, if you really want to see an anime that's funny as shit, look up DNA Squared. That one was fucking hilarious.
Oh, I've heard of that one. Is that the one where like the boy flips gender or something?
No, DNA
No,
Squared is where the boy is the future. He is a future playboy who causes humanity to almost come to a stalemate because he's so fucking charming and so attractive and so damn sexualized in like many ways that every woman desires him, and he ends up fucking way too many people, causing all of his kids to be the majority of the population. So in order to stop this unfortunate dystopian future, a woman is sent into the past to inject him with a serum that is supposed to kill that part of him and possibly him entirely. It doesn't work, and it actually fucking speeds up the process.
Yeah,
Okay, the
activates
Mega
it, yeah.
Playboy. There we go. All right,
Yeah.
I remember. I remember references to this one. I never saw this one, but I remember references.
It was a very weird anime that caused me to.
And thank
question
everybody here for making me feel fucking ancient, because I'm like, yeah, I saw that, 20 years ago?
Yeah, well, I think I don't know. I think I'm more ancient than you, Magnus, but not by much.
How old are you?
37 now.
No, he's got you beat.
You're a kid.
Oh, okay.
Keep
Well,
track.
all right. There we go. I'm not the oldest one here. Cool.
You got a few years to go before you catch up with where I'm at now.
Okay.
Until Leaf had joined us, me and Samaj were actually the youngest people here.
Yeah. And now we have Canadian Opal. So,
She's better,
Yeah,
Opal.
Excuse me, I can
I have-
actually cook without burning my house down. Or almost burning my house down.
Hence, better Opal.
Well, I should point out, I hate to admit this, but it is sort of a guilty pleasure of mine that I still watch the openers for a lot of the old animes that I used to like, because the music was pretty good, I have to
Yeah.
admit.
well, I mean, Cowboy Bebop is still the high watermark for anime soundtracks.
Oh, yeah.
You guys
I mean-
hear that there's like a TV series in the works
For
for a live action TV series for Cowboy Bebop, American.
Really.
all right. I mean, it might be okay. I won't completely dismiss it.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this, and I highly doubt the people who are working on this are listening. But I just have one thing to say about live action Cowboy Bebop, and it's this. Ready?
Hmm.
You listening? Perfect. Don't fuck it up.
yeah.
Oh, I was actually going to say don't do it, but, that's just me. Pinoid News
Oh, no.
for $2. Press 1 if you want me to go on and make Baracus Bird. Doesn't matter if anyone votes. If anyone gives me the link, you will be booted.
I have to point
Yeah.
this out since you said don't do it. No, they're gonna do it.
I know.
Whether we
Yeah.
want it or not, they're gonna do it. That's why I
Yeah.
just told them don't fuck it up. In a
Now,
very
speaking
loud
of live
voice.
action anime, Battle Angel Alita, new trailer dropped. What did you guys think?
I'm still not convinced.
Yeah, neither
Has
am I.
that movie still not come out yet?
It's
Nope.
coming out later this year, I think.
Okay, here's the thing. I watched the original Battle Angel.
Hmm.
I loved the original Battle Angel. I've
think
seen
I
the
read a couple of
mangas
those.
for the original Battle Angel. The fact that she's this doe-eyed whatever the fuck, I don't like that.
Yeah, the
I'm
eyes
sorry.
still throw me off. Like, it's Uncanny Valley when you try to do it like that. Yeah. It's
Oh, it's so cute. God damn it, Leaf.
What?
She sent me the link to a fucking Twitter video saying it's cute emergency. I don't know if anyone's familiar with this particular Twitter.
I'm familiar with it.
And she said, "Look at this baby horse." And I was holding my own for a good minute, and then the baby horse fell over, and I lost my
I just enjoy doing that to you because it's so funny to hear your reaction.
Well, Ren and Igor kept doing that to Brockus the other day. So
Yeah. I still think it's funny. Alita's original name is Gali in Japanese, which if you
Yeah.
change the L's to R's, it's Gary.
That's another thing that still makes me laugh is, again, we know Krillin's name is Krillin, and yet there are far too many people on the internet who will literally spell his name Kuririn.
Kuririn. Yeah, I've seen Kuririn.
It's so fucking annoying, and it's like, you know what his fucking name is. Also, stop putting an I in Frieza's name.
No.
It's just supposed to be like Frieza as in Freezer. Yeah.
It's because that's his fucking name. It's Freezer without the goddamn R at the end. It's annoying. I understand that language, translations, blah blah blah. But I think even the Japanese will see the translation sometimes and go, "The fuck is wrong with you people? That's not. Just do the English version. We have the Japanese. We know how we say things. Obviously, we hear it."
that's the problem, Brockus. I mean, we were talking about weebs, right? That's the problem with weebs. It's like it. At one point, even I kind of had thought about that direction. I was like, well, wait a minute, but that's just going to sound stupid to people who don't have any grasp of the Japanese language. And so I figured out pretty early in life, no, that's fucking stupid. Don't do it. But apparently these assholes don't. It would be like sitting around with Hannah Minks all fucking day.
I just look at it like this: a good measuring or a good rule of thumb when it comes to weebs. Do they say anime or anime? If they say anime, they're a fucking weeb. Why? Because they are trying to stay true to the sub and the way the Japanese say it, even though anime is a shortened up fucking version of the word we had created called animation.
Yeah, I was about to bring that very thing up. It's like, look, anime or anime, if you're into that shit.
Anime, jeez. Okay, I mean, manga's fine.
The only reason they even use that word for it is, like Brock has said, it's shortened form of animation.
Yeah, and so they say
anime is perfectly fine.
Yeah, and anime I think is French, isn't it?
Anime, the word itself, I don't remember what the actual origin is, but I want to say it's either English or French. It's somewhere in that general region. It's not that big of a deal. Either way, we say animation, hence why we should be allowed to say anime. It's fine. The Japanese took one of our words and they say it their way, because how they say any word that has A-N-I in the beginning of its fucking name is ani anything. And as Tyra pointed out, manga, I will say manga and not manga, because manga is their fucking word. And it's a word that they use to describe comic.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, the word manga
translated to one of theirs. There you go.
Yeah, and the word and the Japanese word manga, of course, it's not their word. It's actually from the Chinese term with manhwa. So, you know, because like everything Japanese, they just ripped off the Chinese.
I was going to say, let's be honest, the Japanese are just the Chinese 2.0.
Hey, no, they are not 2.0. They are the Japanese are the cheap knockoffs of the Chinese. The Japanese were the Chinese made cheap Chinese.
We all know fucking good and well that the Japanese island was populated originally by a bunch of Chinese people who were like, "Fuck this shit, we're going somewhere else."
Yeah, and then they all inbred, and well, yeah, Japan happened.
Well, it's still funny that you keep making this argument that the Chinese are, you know, I'm assuming you're making an argument, a vague one, that the Chinese are the superior. And yet, the average height in Japan is actually much taller than in China.
What?
And the average height in Japan is actually taller in China than China.
That's because they do have a better diet in Japan, to be fair.
They have better food.
Yeah, the Chinese, because we know that the reason Chinese tend to be short isn't genetics, it's diet. Because as soon as you start feeding Chinese people a Western diet with more beef and stuff, oh boy. When I was in Taiwan, you could tell the difference. Like there was the older generation and they were all short. And like some of the younger kids who were eating, you know, beef and McDonald's, they were taller than me, you know, and I'm over 6 foot. So it's like, wow, all right.
That explains Yao Ming.
Yeah. That's who,
yeah. But I also want to point out that whenever people talk about moving east, they don't talk about moving to China.
Well, the mainland is kind of not good. The pollution is pretty bad.
The pollution, the government, all that stuff. Here's the one benefit that China has that Japan doesn't. I can literally be paid to be white in China.
Yeah,
that's true.
Also, no racism. China. If you go to China and you're not a Chinese, hey, no. China does not have the strong history of racism like Japan, and even kind of Korea does. Korea's gotten better, but Japan is like super racist. Always. Like if you're not Japanese, they hate you. That's the fundamental. But in China, if you behave civilized, if you can try to speak the language, if you're basically, you know, not an asshole, they'll be kind of welcoming. As I said, you get paid to be white. You can have Chinese friends. You can be accepted as them. I mean, and that dates back all the way back to like the Jesuits and stuff who came over. China's always been historically fairly open to outsiders. Now that's changing for some groups, like the Muslims, for example. They're having a bad time because they're not trying to be civilized; they're trying to blow stuff up. So China doesn't really tolerate that. Likewise, Christian missionaries. They hate Christian missionaries too. So don't try to be a missionary and go over there. They see that as uncivilized too.
Kiddos, I think I'm on buggy for the night because I am starting to droop out a little bit.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right, I'll catch you kids later.
Later,
Okay.
Magnus.
Take it.
Bye,
Take care.
Oh, you finally done fapping to those pictures I sent you, Samash?
No, I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
It's been 8 years.
All right, fair enough. Later.
Take care.
Also, I
Well,
just want to point out yet again, sushi's better than orange chicken, so fuck you.
Wait, sushi is better than orange chicken?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to give you that one. Yeah, I do like sushi. I mean, no, I don't like Japan or the Japanese people. They're all a bunch of fatheads.
Oof.
But I do like certain products of their country. Sure. That's it. I like anime and stuff. To put in context, for example, my mom hates anime because Japanese made it. And she's like, meh, whatever.
Well, yeah, of course. I find it funny though is most of the time whenever I talk to somebody who is mixed race of one of the fucking Oriental Asians and something else, it's usually the mom is Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Mongolian, Taiwanese, whatever. And the
Taiwanese
dad
are Chinese. Fuck Taiwan independence. Taiwan's a province of China, and they better start acting like it.
You reel your China pride back just a bit, motherfucker. You need to calm the fuck down. Jesus.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a Chinese nationalist. I mean, I balance it with being American. So, but yeah. On China stuff, Asian matters. I'm like, yeah, China number one. Woohoo.
Calm your head. I'm an orc, all right? I'm the most fucking oppressed here, okay? There's not many of us on the internet. There's like 4 of us. You need to calm your happy ass down. Anyways.
Okay.
But like it's usually the mom is from over there and the dad is not. I don't know what the goddamn obsession with this is, but it is one of the most common rhythms I have ever fucking seen. One of my buddies from high school, his mom is Japanese, his dad was American Navy, and that's what happened there. So some of my other friends who are half Asian, their moms are from there, but their dads were not. And it's just usually, it's funny because also dad was soldier is usually in that equation as well. I think only maybe 2 times in my entire life did I meet a half Asian whose dad was actually the Asian. And I was like fucking shocked when I saw it. I was just like, really?
Yeah.
Your
No,
dad is the
that
Asian.
is pretty common. Well, I know like with the case with Chinese males have traditionally very strict standards in terms of female beauty, and non-Chinese or non-Asians tend not to meet those standards. So like, I mean, one of the biggest biases, like, one area where China is rather racist, but I mean, Japan and Korea have it too. Like Asian, this applies to Asian cultures in general. Black people, blacks are not viewed kindly in Asia. Like they, when I was in Taiwan, I had, I had someone like try and practice their English. So the sentence structure was, this person is blank. Why? Because they're blank. And so the statement was, this person is ugly. Why? Because they're black. Like, that is so racist, but okay. Oh man.
Okay,
Jeez, you're honest.
Let's be honest a little more than that. Black people don't even like black people a lot of the time.
Yeah. The Africans, African Americans from Africa hate black people who've been living here a while. Yeah.
I thought it was funny listening to some of the reviews for the Black Panther movie when they came coming in from, I think it was from China. Not very positive, to say the least. One reviewer was saying that he had to pinch himself awake because the theater was so dark from all the black on screen.
Oh, jeez.
I heard that. Went, holy shit!
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, I mean, The Last Jedi bombed in China because, oh look, you have a black lead falling in love with a very ugly Asian lead, and it's like, oh my god, like you have. I mean, if they had picked someone pretty like Jin Tian or Zhang Ziyi to play the part of Rose, it would have done better. But the fact that she falls in love with a black guy, that would have still caused it to bomb.
Let's be honest though. The actress Rose Tico in general was such a bad character. I'm pretty sure everyone in China was like, "Okay, so we finally get Asian lead, and this what you give us."
Yeah,
Fuck you.
She's a Biswell. Great, thanks.
She's the worst character I've seen on screen since Jar Jar Binks. I now understand why the blacks were pissed.
Yeah, but okay. Another trait, and again, not just China, but Asian culture in general, is the quality of the film doesn't necessarily play to how well it does. For example, Michael Bay's Transformer movies are very popular in China. They makes a lot of money because it's a lot of explosions, it's a lot of flashy. That's the kind of thing that's like they not a very for whatever reason the Chinese populace does not a very discerning taste. They know what they like: explosions, boobs, pretty girls, that kind of thing. And if they get it, they're fine. But apart from that, they don't care how it's strung together. You know, so Michael Bay does really well there because he doesn't care how it's strung together either.
That makes sense. Makes way too much sense.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm a little embarrassed by my Chinese brethren on that one because it's like, I wish you guys would think about the art you consume a bit more. But to be fair though, the art there doesn't have as much impact on culture as it does here. I mean, there is fandom stuff, but it's not as big over there as it is here to a degree. I think anime has more penetration, but that could also be a factor. I think the way China does fandoms is different from how the West does fandoms.
I saw Chinese Avengers and it confused me.
What?
Oh?
Which one?
The Chinese Avengers.
I have not seen that. I'm going to have to look that up.
Oh my god. Okay, so it's actually a video that's relatively old. It's been recently making the rounds because somebody had decided, hey, have you ever seen this video? Because, you know, they just discovered it and somehow it went viral again for like, I think the third fucking time. But yeah, it's basically just look up Chinese Avengers. It's essentially a Chinese-made fan film where the Avengers versus an army of zombies or some shit like that are basically having a soccer match. I thought at first it was nothing more than a scene from Shaolin Soccer. I was wrong. It was its own thing. It was very weird.
Okay, that. All right. Well, I did like Shaolin Soccer, by the way. I do like that one, and
Gee, I wonder why.
Kung Fu.
Hustle.
Yeah, Kung Fu Hustle. There we go. Yeah, those are funny. Those are pretty good. I'm not, as a rule, a big fan of a lot of Chinese comedies because Japanese comedies, Korean comedies, and Chinese comedies tend to be pretty awful. It's like Japanese game shows. I can also confirm that Taiwan has those game shows like Japan does. They're terrible. Same with the variety shows. They're like, oh god, they're just so bad. But yeah, the action movies. I like the action movies. I'm always up for a good martial arts flick.
Wait. I just thought of something. Samaj, Tyro, you guys might actually have this information. What nationality does Octane come from?
I think he's Southeast Asian.
I think he's he's not a doctor yet.
He's not doctor because he focused on computer. It's acceptable.
You know,
yeah, being an engineer is an acceptable profession for an Asian. Yeah.
Well, sure, but it's not doctor.
That's true.
It's true. Could always be doctor. Could always be better. And if you're a doctor, you should better be an MD, PhD, not just a normal MD. Because anyone could be an MD. You got to be an MD, PhD.
Yeah. There you go.
Never fucking-
Yeah, Leaf, when do you get your MD? Oh, is Leaf here? Or she died? Did she die?
I think she stepped
Oh,
away
wait,
to
what?
like.
I got distracted.
Oh,
God.
Leaf, when are you going to get your MD to avoid bringing shame to your whole family?
I'm not gonna be a doctor. No, thank you. When you have ADHD, it's probably not a good idea.
Okay, I'll agree on that one.
Why you no doctor? Because I cut everything wrong. This make a lot of sense. Could you fucking imagine though? So we have a new person trying out open heart surgery, and I don't know how or why, but apparently the incision started off well enough, and then she just wouldn't stop. She just kept making incisions after incision. I didn't know how to tell her that she had killed her patient 20 minutes ago, but fuck it, she's still going at it. I don't care.
I'm making a horsey. It's not balloon animals. It's surgery. Oh God.
Watch me tie a bow with his intestines. That's no.
God.
This is bad.
Now I want a comic strip of that.
Yes.
The ADHD surgeon.
Yeah. Wormwood would probably be good for that.
I don't know. I'll probably I don't know. If Samaj doesn't take the project, I'll either go to Optic Decay or Rad Alf and just be like, can you just do a real quick ADHD surgeon fucking joke comic strip? Because if I get it, I'm gonna spam the fuck out of Twitter with that shit, and I'm gonna tag you both in it.
Oh boy. All right. Oh, no, that sounds good.
Did not know you were Asian, by the way, Tyro.
What I've said, okay. I have mentioned it multiple times on streams, but that's okay. I don't mind sharing that part of me. Okay. Well, now you know. Cool.
Yeah, I think either I had muted myself and walked away, or I was distracted with something else, or this is where my brain has decided we're not going to remember that. Why not? I don't know. God damn.
Yeah. Well, it's fun for me because I meet other half Asians. Like there's Hapa Supremacy. I need to watch more of their stuff. That one's fun.
I love them. I'm friends with both. They're cool people.
Yeah. Let's see. Now the interesting. So actually, hey Leaf, maybe I don't know. Have you? So you're half Japanese. Have you tried dating Japanese males? Out of curiosity.
No. No.
Oh,
No.
Lack of availability or lack of interest?
Lack of interest.
Okay.
Because white stick.
Wait, what was that?
I said white dick is best dick.
Oh, okay. So wow, you are very similar to Opal then.
Why do you have to be in Manitoba?
Just get a DNA test, Samaj.
I can't. Sorry, we should move on. I've always wanted to date a doctor. Oh wait.
Oh God.
So what
Yeah,
kind of prescription did you give this person? I gave them 500 milligrams of what? 500 milligrams? I wasn't sure how much to give them, and when I was in the class for the medication suggestions and what to diagnose people, I saw a cat outside, and it was really cute, and I wanted to go outside and play with it, and then the next thing I know, the class was over. What the fuck?
This is why you know doctor.
This is why you know doctor. You give too much. I think Tyro would kill people too if he was a doctor, though. Wait, Tyro, why you no doctor?
Why am I not? I was actually going to be. I was pre-med in college. Then I spent a couple summers actually in a hospital shadowing doctors, and that's when I found out the ugly truth that most of being a doctor is paperwork, not actually helping patients. So I was like, yep, no, I'm going to put my brain to something else then. So I changed. So instead of med school, I just went to regular grad school.
Bring shame to your family. You know, I have to quote it now, right?
What are you quoting?
Hello?
Huh?
Oh, I thought like I fucking froze again all of a sudden.
No.
Has been doing that to me all goddamn day. No, but you realize, Tyro, I have to quote it now.
Quote what?
Dishonor. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your family. Dishonor on your cow.
I still want Eddie Murphy in a Mushu costume to be in the live action Mulan. Like I demand that someone make that edit or cut. Like someone should get Eddie Murphy to dress as Mushu like behind a green screen so fans can just like edit him into scenes from it when it comes out. Just something.
No, fair enough. One, bless you to leave. And two, Leaf, what the hell was that? That wasn't a sneeze.
Was it a
That
sneeze?
was a sneeze. That was a sneeze.
That was
I'm
a sneeze.
sorry.
Wow, man, jeez.
That wasn't a human sneeze. That was a mouse sneeze.
Why does everybody always say that?
Oh, hey, we have a lo-fi.
In the chat?
Yeah, we have a lo-fi in the chat. I didn't know she was awake. I thought she'd be sleeping longer. She stayed up really late.
Yeah. Lo-fi, go to bed. Unless you want to do more sexy time over the internet with fucking Tyro.
Oh, here, why don't we do it? Let's see. Let's do it.
Do
live.
not do it live. We do not need that.
What? That's something. Did you watch the new Not Safe for Wednesdays series 2?
No, I'm usually like for the last several days, if I'm up early enough, I'm either watching. God damn it, what have I been watching? I've been watching a lot of other fucking streams and shit, and like I end up not focusing on almost anything else. Otherwise, I've been watching a bunch of OVAs as well. I cannot for the life of me remember what the fuck I've been doing for the last week. Jesus, where did my life go?
That's concerning.
It is. Go grab your own dick in a corner. I plan to. I don't have anyone to do that for me.
Oof.
Have you been going out and about trying to meet friends and such?
Fuck no.
Oh. Do you go to like a local game store or anything?
No, I don't like people, dude. I do not like going out. Well, no, that's not true. I hate staying indoors all the fucking time. But the lack of money keeps me indoors most of the time. But I really do not like people, especially right now. There's too much bullshit going on to the point. I don't know what's going on with you, Lo-Fi, but shit is all kinds of fucked up on your end. F5
you're
or something.
crackling a little bit.
But yeah, I just do not like going out. It's not that I'm an introvert or even really like, I just fucking despise humanity in general and shit. There's just been way too much shit going on in my life that it's making me like not want to go and associate or just
That's
hang out
fair.
with anyone.
What's wrong with my end?
Oh, there you go. You were popping and crackling a little bit.
It's because I'm lying on a blanket and I was moving around.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Why do you sound sick? Are you sick again?
Why do you sound stupid?
Well, because he has a man bun, so it affects the throat.
I'm gonna shave.
Get the shit out of you fucking whore.
How dare you? That is unladylike.
Yeah. Welcome,
You know what?
everyone.
Eating shit. Stop eating shit. You want to be a roommate, then stop eating shit.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Moonifest Destiny. I'm Tyro and Joey with my lovely waifu, Lo-Fi.
Brockus?
With us, our guests, Brockus, Samaj, and Leaf.
Hey, Samaj.
Hey,
How are you?
I am getting tired. I may have to go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
But yeah.
I might have to. If I don't go to sleep now, sleep's just gonna take me and rape me.
Yeah.
But that's good.
Well, you'll know if it succeeds if you hear me snore.
That would be fun. Stay awake.
Yeah, snores is just sleep raping people. That's how that works.
Yeah, it's when sleep forces its huge penis down your throat.
Yeah,
wow.
that's you're struggling to breathe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that eye gunk, that's not from you. That's sleep's leftovers.
No, that's
Oh no! That's a facial right in your eye.
that's Mr. Sandman. They know what that's all about.
So what's this shit show about right now?
We were talking about anime, and then we were talking about that stream you guys were doing, and then now we're talking anime again. I think. Oh yeah, racism. Because I was wondering why Tyrell and Montreal woman, why they know Doctor.
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't like black people. They smell.
Okay, you don't like black people, and you're from the Nazi culture, so it's okay. We expect that from you.
I
Wait,
love
Denmark's
you.
not Nazi.
What?
Denmark's not
she's-
Nazi.
She's Scandinavian.
Oh, okay.
Scandinavia is not Nazi either.
I understand that. It's just the fact that no one's going to really say.
It's
where she's actually from.
100% coincidence that I'm very Aryan and I hate Jews. It's nothing to do with Nazis. I can form my own opinion.
I think Samaj is looking at his screen in a very tired manner, but also very confused. And I was like, but that's what that is, though, isn't it?
No, I don't want to kill them. Yet. I don't have the manpower yet.
I don't like that you said the word "yet" at the end of that sentence.
Yeah.
All right, I'm heading off. Good night, guys.
Good
All
night,
right, bye,
Samaj.
Samaj.
Night.
Let's
We-
see.
We had absolutely no plans for tonight. I behind the scenes, I was trying to get a special thing going. Unfortunately, I did it a little too late. If I was maybe an hour earlier, probably that would have actually happened. But yeah. So we've basically been shooting we've been going at this Toriyama style.
Shooting from the hip?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's not what you heard, Fad. Don't you lie. Just trying to say that apparently I said I love people. Nope, I hate them.
No. But I do recommend when you feel more sociable, local gaming stores are very nice. I mean, don't avoid Magic and Warhammer. They tend to have a lot of dicks. But
Also,
a board
go
game
to
night,
the
though.
park. That's where the best poopy is on the ground, so you can get some more food.
Low. All right. But a board game night is great. I've generally found that board game players are pretty chill. I mean, I think the only exception is that guy who punched quartering. You know, he's the only violent psycho in gaming.
No, fair enough. Honestly, if I do go out and actually socialize with people, it's probably going to be with a few people that I actually have befriended from work. A handful of them are very nerdy. Only one of them is really like an overly demented, alcoholic, chain smoking son of a bitch.
Yeah,
So
that
that's going to
sounds
be your
fun.
bestie. Sounds like
He
a
was.
bestie you're making.
I have stories. So at work, we had a rep built within the first month of us working together because we would cuss up a storm like you would not believe inside the trailers while we would build the box walls and shit. And one of the supervisors and one of the managers were usually in the lane right next to ours or in the one right behind ours, whatever the case was. Now, I thought because of the fans, no one could actually hear what we were saying. They just would hear loud noises and not actually anything audible. Just that's it. I was wrong. Horribly, horribly wrong. They heard every single word we said, and the word faggot was said more times in those trailers than I think anyone had ever heard, even in an extremely fucked up documentary where people are just hating on gay people. And, mind you, this was him and I yelling at each other, calling each other faggot. Pick up that box, faggot. Don't throw things at me, you fucking faggot. Fuck you, you fat faggot. Fuck you, you midget faggot. Shit like that. Well, we had one day, I discovered that apparently we would get loud and we would say horrible, heinous things. Like we would just say shit that would have actually gotten us fired from our job if we had been heard by the right people. However, this particular area manager decided not to say anything, not to intervene, even though she wanted to come in and tell us, hey guys, watch the language, or at least keep it down, something along those lines. Except she never did, and I found out later it was because she was fucking scared of us. It turns out everyone in the goddamn department thought we were going to beat the shit out of them if they came into the trailer to tell us what to do.
Oh, no.
It's fucked up because I think I know how that started, and that is actually because of Bobby's he goes by Bobby online, so I'm not fucking doxing anyone, shut up. But I think it's because Bobby himself one time yelled at one of the guys who was working on the line with us. We just, for no fucking reason, would just start yelling at each other, and it was mainly because of this moment. But he turned to one of the guys that was working with us and he screamed, "Hey, don't you fucking look at me!" And the guy freaked out and walked out of the trailer. Like, he didn't know how to fucking react, and I think that's where it starts from. But yeah, they thought we were extremely violent and we were going to beat everybody's asses. It only made things funnier for us when they found out that we weren't actually violent, we just sounded violent.
That's a fun label.
Yeah, I get that all the time. My size does not help.
You should just talk about comics, then everyone will. No, don't talk about Teen Titans, then they will think you're violent. But anything else, and they know you're just a soft, big, floppy fuck.
Somebody brought up Goku versus Superman at work one time, and my rep of being violent came back. I destroyed it for months, and it came right back because of that
You
one damn
ripped his
topic.
arms up and just beat him with them.
Now, hey, Goku versus Superman is an interesting topic. I mean, now, do you... now, I believe generally Superman beats Goku, just because, yeah, Superman has bigger feats, he is stronger, so on. However, I disagree with, like, Screw Attack, because Goku, with his new ki, can hurt Superman. Like, they point out, oh, Superman's invulnerable, ki's not magic. They've missed, with their big screw-up, Superman's magic vulnerability also covers gods and celestial beings. So when Goku channels God Ki, he is channeling a power source that does hurt Superman. Now, is it enough to defeat him? No. But when he punches Superman, Superman's going to feel it. He can bruise Superman. He can give Superman a bloody nose. That's definitely within the realm of possibility. And that's where they screwed up.
When that's the best thing you can do to someone else, you can give him a bloody nose. Oh no.
Yeah. Well, hey, the number of people who can give Superman a bloody nose is a very short list.
The only real counter I would have to something like that, if I was to actually get into the argument, is I can't remember which issue it was, but it's from the Injustice comic books. The Injustice comic books were the prequels to the video game Injustice: Gods Amongst Us, and in the comic books at one point, the Greek gods get involved. They basically decide that Superman has overstepped his power, and he's going too far. And he's even, brought Wonder Woman into the fray and into the mixture, using her love for him as his means to control her, which pisses Zeus off, which also pisses her half brother Hercules off. Hercules and Superman have a fight, a straight up brawl on the steps of Congress. I think it was. It was some kind of a big important building here in America. And when this happens, eventually Superman doesn't just win; he actually snaps the neck and kills Hercules. Mind you, in the DC lore, that Hercules is actually stronger, faster, and a better fighter than Diana. Except Diana is the more favored of the children of Zeus and actually possesses the what would be considered the Odin force in DC, but it's the Zeus force or some shit like that. Whatever Zeus's power is, Diana has that, which is why she actually does win when it comes to her versus Hercules. But in a straight up fight, Hercules would win. They've established this multiple times in the comic books. And Hercules, with almost the greatest of ease, fucking killed her. With almost the greatest of ease, Superman kills Hercules and then gets his ass royally handed to him by Wonder Woman. But then again, at that point, Superman didn't want to even really hurt Wonder Woman. He kind of was also sort of in love with her, even though he was still obsessed with Lois Lane, shit like that. But that's just me basically saying that's my only real counter. I'm not going to fucking go into the actual details. I've already settled it with AP. Realistically, if it's in the DBZ universe, Goku's going to win because that's how his character is designed and built. If it's in the DC universe, Superman's going to win because that's how he's designed and built. But if it's in a mutual fucking universe, I'm not going to get into that argument. I've argued it way too many times. Goku fanboys piss me the fuck off. I don't care. Superman fanboys also piss me the fuck off. I don't care. And I'm done defending Superman.
And I will say that Saitama can beat both of them with one punch.
Yes.
Well,
I
maybe
agree.
multiple punches. Maybe multiple punches.
No, yeah, I mean 2-3 punches, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it did take him, to be fair, it did take Saitama a few punches to take out the mercenary dude. What was his name again? The brightly colored dude.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh shit! What the fuck is his name? But you have to. He only did one serious punch. So if he started with a serious punch, it might have taken 2 punches.
Yeah. His non-serious punches, it took him a few.
Yeah.
Villains.
And because he tried to have fun, he tried to awaken the fun inside him. Poor guy.
Oh, just to make the mythos even more interesting. And then Leaf comes in and stabs Saitama. Because she has the magical scalpel of, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to just cut things.
It's not gonna work. That's you can't do that to Saitama. That's literally the point.
I'm adding to the mythos. It is now lore.
No, it's not. How dare you touch Saitama, you fucking monster.
This coming from the one who hates the Jews.
I don't hate the Jews. I'm kidding for the sake of popularity.
Oh, there we go. Boros. Boros was the one in One Punch Man. Yeah. Sorry.
Did you guys see that tweet by this chick that said that black people aren't human because they were converted from dark energy into physical, and they have.
No,
Wow.
keep going. I want to know more.
That sounds like something Sarah Jong would write if she was writing about white people.
Oh my god, I can't do this. I'm sending it. I'm sending it to Brockus.
Oh my god, I need
So
to see
black people are made of dark matter?
This makes sense.
According to this.
And now the Blue Marvel makes sense. Just saying.
I
That's
sent it.
I'm not gonna lie, that actually is Blue Marvel's thing. He is he does control dark matter.
Now, what's a death battle you would want to see at Brockus?
Oh, one that I would want to see?
Curious.
That is an excellent question. Probably Red Hood versus Punisher.
Sorry, say it again?
Red Hood versus Punisher.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Then again, they would probably give Red Hood the Venom juice that because he does boost him in the New 52 with Venom. but it eventually is supposed to run its course through his body, and he's not supposed to have it in him anymore. It was just a temporary thing, but they might actually keep him with it, just because I have noticed they will sometimes have bias when it comes to certain characters. But I think, yeah, the fight between Red Hood versus Punisher would be really fucking interesting.
Yeah, it depends how much prep Punisher gets. I mean, I think Punisher would win overall, because Red Hood has the Robin training and all that, but he's not as good a fighter. I think Punisher at the very least would be have a better arsenal, and he's used to taking on people like Red Hood. So even like with Venom, like he can take those guys out. I mean, he's taken down Wolverine. So I don't know. I think his experience in training and just his experience level. Yeah, he's fought crime longer than Red Hood has.
Well, he's been in comic books for a lot longer than Red Hood. I understand that technically Jason Todd came before Punisher, technically speaking, but when you actually consider how long Jason Todd was actually in comic books compared to how long, Frank Castle has been in comic books, there is a massive difference in who has the longest publication history.
Right, because there was this big lack where he was dead.
Yeah, 25 years worth of time from the 80s all the way into the early 2000s. Jason Todd was dead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would say Punisher, but it would be really close. Like, you could make a good case for Red Hood because he's had training as Robin under Batman, so he might have better martial arts skill than Punisher. It's like pure hand to hand, but Punisher knows how to fight dirty. But then again, so does Red Hood. So,
My brain hurts because of this tweet.
It's that bad?
I now have to share this.
Yeah. Display it for the rest of us. Yes.
Keep us in the...
No, fair enough. I'm just going to go ahead.
Oh, God, it's a black person who posted it? Good Lord.
You are not paying attention. Black people are not human, says the black person. We were not created, sis. We don't. What don't you get? We converted from dark energy into the physical. We have DEA, okay, and they have DNA. I don't think she knows what DEA is.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Do they have ice in their veins?
We have to eat electric alkaline food, unlike them. I was unaware chicken was electric alkaline food.
Oh, God. Look at the follow-up tweet below it. Oh, God. It gets worse.
What does E stand for? What is dark energy composed of? If this is true, wouldn't it be true of all humans, since they were all born of us? What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Low Hawkins. Yay.
Dark energy is carbon. That's what you are. Carbonated, not melanated.
Oh, God.
6 carbon, 6 electron, and 6 neutrons. So that's why they say 666 is devil. And no, we made them. Hold on. In our image, we are son of man because we came from the sun. Sun as in the solar fucking center of our goddamn galaxy. They are
carbonated. That is, oh my God.
they are mankind made in our image, so they have melanin. I don't.
Wow. Was all that to explain melanin? That's quite the holy shit.
I laughed so hard I choked. That was. Oh my God.
Why do these people breed?
Idiocracy, man. Idiocracy. She's probably got 8 kids already.
I'm like Kumara right now. We was carbonated and shit. God damn. That needs to catch on. Spread that across the Twitters.
Retweet it. Tag everyone you know. Let's give this girl a fan base.
Oh boy. Are you retweeting that, Brockus?
No, but I am going to hold on. I'm saving the image onto my computer because I want this to be saved on my computer. Then I am going to tweet it out because I have to tweet it out. It was carbonated and shit. I don't know where these people come from, but please, I hope
come
they
from
never
the
go
sun.
away.
Brockus, she just said she come from the sun. How dare you question your black overlord?
Okay, so we need to not deport them to Africa, but deport them to the sun.
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
It's gonna
she's
be a little
asked
more
for it.
expensive, but they'll never bother us again. And we can just learn from history books, so we can just stack hundreds of them on top of each other in the cargo bay. It's easy.
Yeah, I love it. Let's not ever actually learn from history or science or any of that stuff. Let's just make shit up as we go. The Toriyama method. I'm coining that phrase.
Have you seen the game that had slave Tetris in it?
Slave Tetris?
Yeah, where they taught you about slavery. It's a Danish game that got quite a lot of negative feedback because posted on Steam, history of slaves or some shit, and then when you had to stack the slaves when you sailed from Africa, and how that function was a form of slave Tetris in the cargo bay of the ship. So you got slaves in all different shapes, and you had to stack them so you could get as many slaves in the cargo bay as possible.
That's it, Lo-Fi. I got an idea. A card game, a slave stacking, or like slave Tetris. It's a card game where you need to like arrange, like pack the slaves into the boat. Huh? And the person who can stack the most slaves wins.
I think that's a great idea, and we are going to have huge success on certain websites.
Oh, good lord.
I don't feel about any of this. It's just, it gets bad. It's getting worse. My sanity is cracking. Let's be honest, it's been cracked.
Well, do you want to stop the stream before it goes completely? I mean, I think you might still need some. What's scheduled for tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Saturday, so it's going to be a regular old cunt stream. Schmeckle should be there along with Anon, myself, and Samaj, the usual four horsemen of the cunt stream. As for what we have officially planned, nothing really. We had a few things planned for tonight and tomorrow night, but unfortunately, some of them were removed because we were requested not to cover certain stories, and others never fell through because lack of communication.
Okay. Now, was there going to be something?
Why was there no Maddox thing tonight, as was planned?
Maddox is coming next week because Schmeckle actually he had something to do. Personal life shit got in the way, and he couldn't actually get involved. Also, his internet has been acting up a lot today as well.
Okay, so it's because he wanted to be on the Maddox episode as well.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, so is it like, is it going to be Maddox now? Are you also inviting Dick Masterson too? Because I think he's involved, right?
Yeah, he's heavily involved, and it's fucking funny.
Yeah, no, because I've seen Dick Masterson on the Ralph retort. By the way, an excellent combination is Ralph plus Dick plus Corinne. That it's hilarious, and yeah, that's the gift that keeps on giving.
Are they having sex?
No.
Yeah, that sounds like two people having sex.
Yeah,
oh, sorry. Ralph retort, Dick Masterson, and Corinne. There we go.
No. We understand what you meant. It's just Ralph plus Dick plus Corinne is great.
Oh dear. Yeah, I don't want to. I shouldn't throw that voodoo at Ralph. Oh dear.
Ralph is getting kicked by Corinne.
Just don't do it. Seriously, the CDC is warning people to stop reusing and washing condoms. Here's why it's dangerous. Who's doing that?
Condoms are free. You don't need to wash and reuse them.
Go
They're
to
free?
Yeah, they're given away for free by most places.
You
Oh
can
my
go to
God.
any hospital and request condoms, and they will just give them
What
to you.
kind of dream country are you living in?
America.
Where we're tired of the fucking young having kids.
Donate to me so I can move there.
Yes. So it's streamlabs.com/secret sausage. Donate to Lo-Fi today so she can come live in a certain person's basement.
That's exactly what I'm gonna show Tyro, my secret sausage.
Or now, and this is just my suggestion, you can just donate to me all that same information except /Brockus.
What are you raising money for?
Myself.
Oh, okay.
Streamlabs.com/Brockus.
Oh my god, Racism Watchdog has responded to my shit saying story checks out. I don't know how to feel about that. Oh my god, why?
Wait, Racism Watchdog replied
It's a fake account.
No, I know it's a copy of Racist Watchdog, but
Oh, okay.
oh god, you even sent me the fucking article. Oh,
I did. I had to.
okay.
No, oh shit, that sounds great. I want to read that.
I'm going to save this for CNN. I'm gonna put this. God damn it!
Now I have to watch CNN to know that shit. God, fuck.
It's a good show though. Ren and Ishtar go out of their ways to trigger the fuck out of me.
It's okay.
Oh, you're so mean.
I like Ren. Fuck the rest of you.
Yeah,
How
Ren's
dare
cool.
you.
I have absolutely no problems with Ren.
Rob's there too.
I
I have
don't
no
know.
problem with Rob.
Yeah. I mean, I'm neutral towards him.
Oh,
All right. You want to go ahead and wrap this up?
yeah. We're gonna go ahead and wrap things up, cunts. Tonight we of course had myself, Tyro, Lo-Fi, Leaf, the unapologetic Canadian, Magnus Deacon, and Samaj. We had nothing planned, and there was a lot of people still watching us, even though we were talking about a lot of fucking anime.
Yeah,
And,
we got geeky and shit, man.
We got nerdy. This is what happens when you don't give me a fucking topic. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Rob,
Don't let me
this
do
is how
things
you
on my
do a
own.
this is how you do a successful Han Solo. Just don't call it Han Solo. Just sneak it in there.
Yep.
Fair enough. Fair the fuck enough. Actually, that was one of the jokes that me and Samaj were having off air before we went live. We were like, do you want to invite certain people? And he was like, yeah, let's see if Magnus, Red Robot want to join in. You know, and I was just like, oh yeah, fuck it. We'll just turn to Friday Night Han Solo. Screw this shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's been the show. I'm gonna check real quick. The chat does not have any super chats. I think Pinoid actually took off earlier. I wasn't serious when I said I was gonna boot him, but whatever. Anyways, that's been the show, cunts. Get the fuck out.